It's Necey Dixon. I'm super excited to talk to y'all for another Thursday. I'm more so excited to be joining y'all with Bondi and Jamie for another episode of Ooh Ladies First. Okay, your favorite day of the week. Y'all already know where to find us. Email us, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Ooh Ladies First. Follow Bondi Blue, who just hit her 100K at Bondi Blue. Jamie, that's me, and also myself, Necey Dixon. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, what's
Yeah.
up, y'all?
That was so
Happy Thursday.
anticlimactic. Yay!
Okay. Listen.
Yes.
Ooh, ladies first. Ladies first.
Hey, come
Come
through with the
on.
flag.
Ooh, ladies first.
Yes.
Ladies first. Yes. Ooh,
I'm
look.
gonna
If I knock
toast
this.
What
my
does it say? What does it say at the bottom body?
It says presented to Bondi Blue for passing 100,000 subscribers. YouTube.
Oh, it came
Okay.
so quick.
The silver plaque you did is
That's
nice.
amazing. And
That
you kept
is.
working. You did not give up.
You
I
did not.
didn't. I didn't.
You kept working. Head down. Damn. What's yours is
Consistent
yours.
every day.
More to come.
Toast to
Absolutely.
that.
Toast to that.
Clack clack.
Glass tip
Clink a
up.
clink, 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 clink,
Come
clink.
on. Clack clack
Okay.
clack. Congratulations. So
Thank you.
how are y'all feeling today? Let me play a game. Let me act like one of them icebreakers. If you
Okay.
had to choose one word or two, I'll give you two or three words max of how you're feeling about tonight. What would y'all say?
Excited.
Super duper excited.
Okay, I don't know what to say. Super duper hype. Hype.
Hype. Okay.
Mm. Okay, so I have a couple questions to ask y'all. Since
Mhm.
we didn't took a couple weeks off, 1 week we was off because our
Time.
regular break. The next week I was sick with the damn norovirus, fighting for my fucking life. Um, and this week we back. We didn't have time for a whole bunch of stuff to accumulate, and I've been
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, I can't wait to talk to the girls about this.
Right?
Damn, I can't wait to talk to
Yes.
the girls about this.
Yes.
It's
Just
been
the
so
most.
much.
It has been. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, just the most basic stuff, but I want to start off asking y'all this question. On Twitter, this was going viral. Somebody said, I'm not dating nobody co-parenting a pet with their ex. You done lost your damn mind. So my question
Mm.
for y'all
Mm.
is if y'all okay, so Bonnie, I know you got a pet. Jamie, you have a pet. I don't think you do,
Mm-mm.
right?
No.
Okay. So number one, y'all answer me, would you date somebody who was still co-parenting a pet? Number two, if you have the pet, are you co-parenting? Who gets the pet?
Yes,
Oh.
I would because now that I have like had y'all know my baby Barack, my oldest dog, passed away last year at the end of last year in November. We had
Mhm.
to put him to sleep. He was 13. Then I have my 10-year-old Olivia, and I have my new baby who is two. Actually two on a fifth. Yes, 2 years old, Juvie.
Mhm.
So if not saying that me and Larry about to break up, because like I told y'all, it do not feel that way. But if we
Mm-hmm.
were to, we would have to co-parent the dogs, and honestly, that would make sense because like we can't both always have them or always be with them. We both work a lot. I probably would have them full time because he works so much. But he would definitely come get these fucking dogs on a weekend and go take them to the park and get them away from me so I can have some time where I don't have to deal with them. Because when we together, there's times where I don't have to deal with them because he'll get up in the morning and go
Mhm.
Yeah,
take care of them
that's the
or make
thing.
sure they ate that day. Other day, like for instance, every morning when I get up, when he gets up, I sleep until I feel like getting up. Thank you, Jesus. And he gets up in the morning to go to work. He takes the dogs out and puts them outside, gives them water and stuff until I get up in the morning. Then I go check on them. I feed them. I bring them inside, take them back outside to use the bathroom, that type of thing. It's on me. When he gets home, like at night, he might be the person responsible for making sure they get their last, little route before we go to bed. But like it's a team thing here. So just like them
Mhm.
fucking kids, I'm gonna need you to give me a break with the dogs every now and again, especially after we done been together this long. Shit, nah, you gonna come get these dogs because he loves the dogs, especially Juvie. Juvie loves him. Like I couldn't imagine like because we break up. one of us don't see our dog no more. Like, no.
Yeah, that's a double breakup. That is traumatic.
Yeah. I don't think for me, because I don't have a pet and I haven't had one in a minute. I wouldn't understand that. I think that you could co-parent when you ain't dating somebody, but when you're starting to form a relationship with somebody, like it's about making that partner feel comfortable. And I don't think I would feel comfortable with you, co-parenting a fucking pet. Like, it's too many pets out here that look alike. They like train the pet to be how
Jamie.
that one was. And honestly, I feel like if you got multiple dogs, y'all need to make a decision on which one you getting. If it's two dogs, she get one, you get one. If it's four, she get two, you get two. Let's move. Like, that's just because I feel like, a lot of people, and this isn't everybody, but a lot of people, when you break up with your ex, you cut off everything, right? You cut off their family, you cut off them. Cut them fucking dogs off. If y'all do not have a live human being that you have to work on getting through life all the way to the age of 18, and I don't even know if a dog gonna make it that far, get it together. Like, we're not doing that. Like, if it's not a real human being that I have to like really like, and you do have to take care of pets like you do, humans as well. But I
Yeah.
just feel like furry animals are different, and I wouldn't be able to do it.
I
I'm
just
See,
feel
that's why
sorry.
like
I
it
asked
ain't
y'all these
gotta be
questions.
it ain't gotta be a sit down situation. Like, drop off and pick up. Like pick the dog up. Like, come get the dog. Like, I don't, it ain't gotta be all that. But whatever's best for whoever. I just feel like it would be real hard for either one of us to like not see either one of these damn dogs anymore. Like,
I knew you was gonna say that, Jamie.
I knew too. I knew too.
I wouldn't
I
be
I
knew
able to
knew
do
you
too.
it.
was. I was like, this is gonna be a good topic
Yes.
because so whenever me and Ted were just boyfriend and girlfriend, we got our dog together. The dog was pretty expensive, like just under $2,000, but he an English bulldog. So anyway, we split it. We split the payment for the dog. I go to Oklahoma to get the dog when he at work, and when I got the contract for the dog, I only put my name on the contract. And then whenever we went to go get pet insurance for him, I signed him up with my last name, and my
Oh my
name was on
god,
it. So I'm like,
that's your
yeah, this.
dog.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? If something go wrong, like, ain't no co-parenting. This a dog. But the longer that was before, like, we really forged a trio with the dog and us.
Oh,
By the time it was
Yes.
us and the dog, I was like, it's no way I could possibly do that. Like, we would have to co-parent. Like, you would have to come take the dog. So I'm one of the people that's like, okay, I got a co-parent. But on the flip side, I wouldn't entertain nobody that was co-parenting a pet. I
I think
see,
wouldn't.
it's
I'm
just
wondering how
I
long
would.
would y'all allow them to co-parent before you get into a new relationship? Like, do you expect your new partner to be okay with you co-parenting
What does
a
that look
pet?
like though? What does co-parenting a dog look like? Because I feel like this is not like we gotta talk.
I feel like
Like,
you
come get the
do. If the
dog.
dog, let's say the dog's sick, because remember y'all had to take the last dog to the vet and stuff and get them checked out. I feel like that's things y'all got to talk about. That's a part of
Okay, then I don't
co-parenting.
I don't have a problem with
Yeah,
that.
But it
but
Like,
may
they don't
I
involve
have
have
no
more
to.
issue with
more
that.
conversation. You know what I'm
That don't
saying?
bother me though. But like,
And
if you done with somebody, you done with somebody. If you're not done with somebody, then you're not done with somebody. Either way, I need to figure it out. So if you co-parenting a dog, gonna let me know that you're not about to stop fucking with your ex. I should know that early on.
If you
I mean,
co-parenting, say that again. If you co-parenting your dog,
like if you co-parenting like with your a dog or whatever pet, if you really gonna be fucking with that person, if you really gonna be overstepping boundaries, if I just let y'all do whatever y'all gonna do, I'll eventually see that y'all still fucking with each other either way, and I don't need to be with you. But if you are not doing anything, then it really shouldn't be a problem. Like, if it's not anything that I should have to worry about, then I shouldn't have to worry about it. But
that's
at this,
similar to like a
yeah,
co-parenting with a real human. Like, after a while,
yeah,
you'll be able to tell whether they really fucking with each other or not.
yeah.
yeah, you should be able to tell.
But
And I
yeah,
feel like that's a
I'm with
test, and
you
you
on
gotta
that.
find
One of
out.
my
You gotta
friends
find
still
out if
co-parent.
motherfuckers, trusting anyway. You gotta find out if they worth trusting anyway. So I feel like that's a test. That's an easy test. That way we get this shit out the way quickly. Because sometimes you
I'm
may
feel
not
like hell
know
no. Especially what if I come into the relationship with a pet? Get to know my dog. Why the fuck?
why they can't get to know your dog soon, Jamie.
Yeah, like fuck your other dog. You want to the Brian McKnight
Let
situation.
her either you
I
finna keep
can't.
the dog.
Not a Brian McKnight
You
situation.
Or you
You
finna
want me
let
to
the
say
dog go
back at
back?
one? This dog is the reason why I'm a pet parent right here.
I ain't never had no pet like this before.
And matter of fact, go ahead, name the pet. Your name, Junior. Fuck the
Okay.
first kid.
Fuck that first one. I don't care about that one. That was a mistake. That was a
Oh
trial
gosh.
pet. That don't count.
Well, y'all, I got another question for y'all. Super
Okay.
random. I want to know: do y'all kiss with your eyes open or closed?
Clothes. What kind of weird shit is that? I might fall.
What kind of kiss we talking about?
Like this.
I am screaming. That was so on point. I'm more than likely going to be Carisha for sure.
Oh my god.
Definitely
Oh my
giving
god. Wait, let
clothes.
me get off the floor. Wait a minute.
But the gag is that my man's gonna be close too. It's definitely not giving Diddy.
Nah, if I open my eyes and your eyes open, it's a problem. I don't like that shit.
My question is, who the fuck was Diddy looking at though?
Some dude on the side.
He was looking at the person that was gonna relieve him. Like,
To me, this is the perfect example of why I don't like their relationship, and I don't care what nobody say. Carisha is not over there just being a city girl having a good time. She is over there getting her feelings played with.
Diddy
and
is
her twat.
giving, yeah, look at this shit right here. Post this on the blogs. I'm trying to
Oh,
be on Spiritual World, Jasmine Brand, Ooh Ladies First panel.
everywhere. And she's just letting
Yes.
him do it. I don't. And then the fact, honestly, I think their relationship is low key starting to disgust me even more because she looked like his mama to me. So
Oh,
like
she
I
do.
sometimes I just kind of be like, Diddy, you working out a whole bunch of issues you got with this girl. Like I feel like you get to get your issues that you probably got with your mama out on her. Cause don't his mama give I was living for myself when I was young? And my son probably low-key angry at me, but he take good care of me because that's a sign that he does what he's supposed to do. And Diddy is one of those men that has a lot of pride in being a traditional man, meaning a man that take care of their family,
Mm.
regardless to whether they with you or not. Like Diddy has always prided himself on being like white men. I don't have to be with you, but I'm gonna take care of you and you gonna always be mine.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
I'm just saying, like that's the energy that he gives. I tell y'all, he's baby Hugh Hefner all the time, and y'all don't believe me.
Mm.
Damn, I keep forgetting to watch that documentary.
You have to watch it, but I think he's energy, he's soul sucking.
Hmm.
From Carisha. That's why she always
Mm.
looks so sad after they be having all of these little, popping moments. Then she gonna be
He
sad for a
really
little
blocking her
while.
blessing.
Mm.
I don't know why she ain't learned from Cassie, but I'm telling y'all, when she
Or Kim.
free herself from Diddy, we gonna see her level up. For real, for real.
Um, I feel like she done got more out the deal than Cassie did. However,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't negate
Yeah.
what you're saying. I just think she got more out the deal.
She
But
do.
on the flip, I'm trying to consider this possibility. You know, when you taking pictures, it's the shutter and they could take a lot of photos at one time. I really want to believe that they took the wrong photo and posted it. Because
Mm.
they took so many shots and then this was one of the worst and they just posted that one. Maybe his eyes was closed and he was into it at first.
Well, somebody said that she tweeted and said that he was looking at the phone in her hand. So he was looking at another camera, allegedly.
I don't
I'll
like the
never
sound of
forget.
that.
I'll never forget his BET Awards. His honor speech was one of the most manipulative things I think I've ever seen in my life. It was loud and blaring to me.
Mhm.
And the one thing I've been learning, girl, as I've got to this 35, is to trust my instincts about these things. And I just feel like he is a soul sucking vampire. And I think that nothing is genuine except for getting the dick wet. I don't think anything about it is genuine. I think she's genuine. I don't think he is.
Mm.
I will add, regardless of what camera was up, he still was kissing with his eyes open.
Ugh.
I would have to say that. But
And
yeah,
why his hair that color? I'm tired of y'all with y'all hair being jet black like that. Like, where's the salt and pepper niggas at?
at least the edges ain't painted on. Because
I
that's what I was
appreciate that
expecting.
part.
And he got enough money to get the hair transplant.
It's still too black though. I saw Chris Tucker and I was like, damn, why that nigga hair so black? If your hair blacker now than it was when you was younger, you making a mistake. take it down a color. Go to a woman.
Yeah, they
Like,
get that jet black box spring.
yeah, no,
Not the
take it,
natural black.
The
please.
jet.
Natural black, y'all. Please, natural black, and for some of y'all, dark brown. Like, y'all be doing too much with the jet
Yeah.
black hair.
I'm trying to decide what color I want my next set of braids to be. Cause sometimes that one be given, but in my mind it be given. But then whenever I go get it, I be looking, it don't look right.
Mm.
So I think I might go for like a 2 or something. We gonna see.
Excuse
That just
me.
made me think about it.
This is, I think, a 350.
Yeah, that's a 350.
And I feel like I'm going to like get lock extensions at some point, like real ones.
Oh,
And I'm going to keep it this color for a while.
okay.
That's really cute. You should
I think
try
so. I really like
350
it.
and 99J.
Oh, okay.
Try 350 and 99J. They both red. It'll just give it more like dimension, like mostly 350 and
Yeah.
99J.
Okay. Let me go look that up.
Love me a good hair color. Now, I have another question for y'all. My other question for y'all is, how do you? Oh man, not that one. That's not the question I had. Because we talked about that last week. My question for y'all was, how long is too long for a guest to stay?
Are they invited or uninvited?
Invited.
I feel like that depends on what they're coming over there for. So I would say at least an hour and a half.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
It depends on what they're coming over for.
I said, how long is too long for a guest to stay? Now,
Oh.
okay. I mean, you said an hour and
Oh,
an hour and a half. I
yeah,
mean,
they shouldn't be
like,
staying longer than a day.
I mean,
No,
somebody that. Oh, I
no.
didn't even think you was gonna go there. I thought you was gonna go like, somebody in town. You flat out said an hour and a
Yeah.
half.
That's what I was
Oh,
wondering. I
I'm
was like, are
thinking
they
of
visiting?
friend. Cause see, the only people that's really staying over my house is family. So family can stay a lot like a week. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, a
But
week.
if it's like a friend or something, you just stopping by, coming through, hour and a half is cool. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I feel you on that.
I'm pretty much a like what it feel like type of person. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can stay a little late. We chilling, we having a good time, we watching something, we playing a game, you know. But other times it be like, yeah, y'all been here about 30 minutes. It might be time for everybody to go now. But it take about a good 20 minutes to get to my house from the city. So we normally only invite people out when we gonna let them be there for a few hours, like
mm-hmm.
parties and holidays and shit. But like beyond that, we've had somebody stay at our house for a weekend. Longer than
Mm.
that, girl, I don't know. I like my
Yeah.
space. I like being alone. I don't like being around other
Yeah, I
people.
can
Energies
relate.
like that. So
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, one night after you get through that one night and a day of hanging out with somebody, it's like, damn, I can't say goodnight to you in my house 2 nights in a row. Oof, that's a bit much. Wake up saying good morning 2 days in a oof, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, as far as friends visiting, I guess it just depends. Like last time my friends came over, we watched Swarm all in one setting. So they was here for
Oh, I
like
remember
six
that.
hours or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that
That
was
makes
fine because we was
sense.
just chilling.
That makes sense. Yeah, when you get you a good something you can binge, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. But you know they leaving that night though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So
Or
that makes sense.
we're in like a 10-hour period,
Mm-hmm.
you gonna get out of here. If it's a weekend, we know you ain't gonna be here Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the reason why I was asking that question is because that was a topic on Summer House, Martha's Vineyard.
Oh.
Mm.
I don't know if y'all watched the episode, but what we saw last week was Bria's boyfriend, Simon, is flying in from Germany. And she asked Jasmine and Silas if he could come and stay for a week because the time zone is just so different. And it doesn't make sense for him to come for only a little bit and then turn around and go back to Germany. So she was like, do you mind if he stays for the last week that we in the house? Jasmine says, yeah, that's okay. He can go ahead and stay. Only for Jasmine and Silas to turn around and say they not comfortable with a guest coming to the house for longer than 3 days. So they take a house vote, and the house ultimately decides that 3 days is their max. Now, Bria before they got to this house vote, had a conversation with Silas because she got to talk to the man of the house. Quotes the man of the house by Bravo. And she basically, in my opinion, it seemed like a dry, caring threat to me. She was like, if you say he can't come to the house, I'm going to say that you're a racist.
Right.
So Bria shows her ass. He ends up coming this episode, but I wanted to know y'all's thoughts on Bria and her pure fuckery and her Karen-esque.
I don't care for Bria. I find it very funny. She tried to toss around the label of calling this man a racist, only for her to go overseas and be racially profiled. Yikes.
Hilarious.
That
karma
happened?
kind of, yeah. So her sister. So that karma kind of came and hit you. I feel like, yeah, they may have said yes initially. They were hanging out, they were drinking and stuff, but I feel like they did right by bringing it to the group because everybody's staying here. I don't feel like they should have just made that decision and just went with it. You got other folks that's living in a house, so ask them how they may feel about it and see where they at with it. So I don't think they did anything wrong by wanting to bring it to the group. If it was somebody else trying to bring their mate in, she would want them to, ask the group. And my thing was how she tried to play Jasmine and Silas by saying, you guys be hunching all of the time and you guys get to have each other and I don't. BITCH, they're married. And BITCH, they're also the host. So I feel like the host they got leeway to kind of do what they want. But for you to try to manipulate them, I just feel like that was whack. And that's what she get. She's a very manipulative person. And I don't care for Bria on the show.
Now that you mentioned hunching, I want to know if y'all think it's too fucking much. I think it's too fucking much.
I only seen one episode where they hunched. They hunched some more?
No,
well, the
like
last
they show it
episode
like
looked like
once
they
every
replayed.
episode.
Last episode looked like they replayed the same clip where he was like hammering her ass.
Under the covers.
Yeah, bah, bah, bah. Then this episode, the thing that I thought, I love that they, don't mind having sex in the house with people, fine. But the thing this episode for me was that, like, you were loud. Like, everybody's hearing you get your back blown out and then you walking out the next morning like, this shit is embarrassing.
Yeah, that would get annoying.
Because you married, shit not cute.
If it's affecting me sleeping, like that would get on my nerves. Number one, have consideration for other people, but also, Bravo, why do y'all feel the need to show us every time somebody fucking? We could have watched the show without us knowing that.
Because people are pervs. Because everybody's a perv and they want to see. I want to see how his stiff looking ass fuck too. I'm surprised she was enjoying it. He looked like he was short dicking out of deck.
It don't look like they have no like foreplay, nothing. It's just like, okay, come on.
They just it looks like it's a duty the way they talk about it.
That's what it seems like for her.
I'm gonna tell you what I ain't like. I feel like he got impatient because she wasn't making noise. But I feel like, listen, I've had to be quiet before, my love. And if it's doing what it's supposed to do, I can be quiet and you'll know you're doing your job all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay? So to me, the fact that he was even bothered means that she got to make noise in order for him to feel like he doing it right, which makes me like,
yeah,
like it's a lot of insecurity going on.
He got
like
a complex, yeah.
Yeah, and she was at the end of the episode when she was like, I don't know if I can do this forever. It's just kind of like, because it's giving wag dick forever is what it's giving.
It's because she's trapped.
It's giving she's required to feed that ego.
Yep,
and it's
she gonna have to
exhausting.
suppress
And
herself.
she only said y'all to get out that car she was sleeping in.
Ooh.
And he really not what it is she's really used to dating or what she's into.
Ooh,
shit.
Trying to
I
get
wasn't
them
even thinking about
benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the military man, she gonna be pregnant if she's not pregnant now before the end of the year.
I hate that for Jasmine because she strikes me as a person that's all about like image and stuff and how people see her and like she just fake.
Unfortunately, why she got a type? She's a type though. Like I feel like we all knew a girl like that. If you went to a school of white people, you all knew a black girl like that. Oh my god! Oh, hated it.
Oh my god, you were irritated.
Because I was the anti that. I was like, I was the anti that. So like girls like that really used to like irk my spirit because I could like read the fakeness all over them when I was younger, and like I used to be like, bro, get this stupid ass bro with me. I was too blunt about like being annoyed with people when I was younger.
So talking about Jasmine and Silas, at the end of the episode, y'all, Jasmine ended up going to a boutique or something like that with Jordan. Jordan had the one who everybody liked. She's been celibate. I almost want
I
to
don't
say
know why y'all
celibate.
like her. Who like her? Who said that? I don't
What's
like
that
her at
man
No,
name?
all.
they
What's that boy?
no. I'm talking
Oh,
about
Amir.
you
the
mean the
men.
men? The men.
The
You right. My
men.
bad. I thought
Yeah, I'm
you meant
talking about
like
the men.
Yeah, I thought you meant the fans. I was about to say who like her.
Nah, the men. I'm talking about Nick,
Who said that? Yeah,
who
you.
Alec liked her, Armani liked her. Yeah, everybody did.
Uh-huh.
So is his name Armani?
Amir.
Armani. Amir. Thank you, Jamie. I was like, wait, oh, that's not right. So yeah, they all liked her, that one. She's been celibate for a year, and she is having a conversation with Jasmine about, when she might have sex again. Is it gonna be her next relationship? And she really not in a rush. Like, she knows she's 30 years old, but she want to be selective. So Jasmine says to her, yeah, but it's really nice to have someone who's a best friend outside of just your friends. And I want you to experience the happiness that I am with Silas. Now, Jordan ended up telling her, like, I'm good. And I'm really getting upset that you think that what I want for myself is not enough. And Jasmine then is basically like, no, 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 no. I don't want you to think that I'm judging you. I'm your friend. I don't want you to think that this is coming from a judging place. I'm just saying that I would want for you to experience that. And Jordan is like, no, I'm good. So at the end of the episode, they end up having a dinner, family dinner, and Bria's boyfriend is there. He gets everybody watches, so all of a sudden he can stay for a week. But even more so, Silas and Jasmine's old cheese and asses with their Versace watches is now giving advice to Bria and Simon about their relationship that's not a marriage that they didn't respect at the beginning. But they're giving them marriage advice. And Jasmine ends up crying at the end of the table saying, yeah, I feel like it's great to have a partner, but in this group, it can be difficult. Basically saying now it's difficult being a wife. So, what do y'all think about that stupid ass advice? Don't let my opinion waver.
Hold up. Who gave so somebody gave
Yes,
Jasmine
Jasmine
and
please.
gave
Silas.
Yeah.
Jasmine and Silas gave advice to Bria and Simon, the boyfriend
Mm,
who's going to stay for a week.
okay.
Now, in that advice, Jasmine ends up circling back around to the disagreement that her and Jordan had earlier about her wanting Jordan to have a partner.
Jasmine just do too much.
Can I
Like
just say this first though, before we get into
exhausting.
that part of it? The fact that they melted like fucking butter when Sun pulled out them watches. I
Mm-hmm.
really want to like just sit on that for a minute because
Mm-hmm.
y'all was oh we don't know him. It's not about that. I don't know if we want him in the house. And that man pulled out $800 watches for the miscellaneous people and $1,200 watches for the two married people. And all of
Mm-hmm.
a sudden he can
They
say as
gifted
long as
them.
he wants.
Yeah, he gifted them
Yes.
all
Oh,
designer watches.
what in the stormy steel is going on? They didn't even want you there.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, he wanted them to get
Yes.
get watches so they knew they was Gucci.
Yes.
So we Gucci.
Jamie, that's the response I was looking for from you. So thank you for
Like I
that.
want to give them shit. I don't even like you, sir.
Yeah,
Jasmine does entirely too much. I do not. I don't like how she's only been married for what 6 months, and now all of a sudden she acting like she's been married for like 6 years, 60
shit,
years, giving
60.
advice, right? Giving
Right,
all
like
this
sit
advice.
back.
She is so annoying. And what I like about Jordan is she just be standing her ground with stuff. I love how she be standing up to Silas, and then she be needing to check Jasmine. Like, stop forcing your views and how you move with your situation on me because you were so desperate to have a man to validate you does not mean that that's the
Period.
same thing for me. I'm gonna get with it when I get with it. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe for you, it's no disrespect. You did not have a lot of men that were after you.
Mm.
Because I have a lot of men that are after me, I can be more selective. I don't just have to go with
Okay.
somebody. I can see what they're talking about here. That helps me with my process.
It's not
I
just
don't like
that.
that.
It's not just that, Jamie. It's also that Jordan makes money off social media. Because
Mm,
Jordan is able to make money off of being beautiful, she absolutely is able to be way more selective than
hmm.
Jasmine is able to be. And I do think on some level it's like, oh, I want you to have what I have. But really you want her to be in the same space that you're in because you feel lonely in your space,
Yes,
which is
yes.
you
Well,
and him.
And
I
she ain't even
also
happy in her own space for her to say something like
yes,
that.
Right.
I also think it's. I also I'm weary of people like this. People who feel like they lack in something And I think that that's the only, well, one of the few things that she feels like she could probably hold over Jordan. Like, yeah, Jordan, they all Playboy bunnies. I guarantee you when they all went out and went places, she got chose more than Jasmine, okay? Because everybody in the comments keep asking about this scar on her face. I'm just saying.
I was
Uh,
wondering about that too.
Everybody keeps asking about that. I mean, Jasmine is a pretty girl, but when you think about the dynamic of that, some people be like, okay, I feel some type of way that all the dudes always talk to her, but now I have something over you and I'm a married woman. So now
Yes.
I want to shit on you in a
Yes.
way that comes off, as though it's a
Mhm.
loving way. I want you to experience what I'm experiencing. And it's never really about that when you could just mind your business. She said she was good.
I
Right.
think it's also more than beauty. I think Jordan just has a good her personality. I think is just better than Jasmine's in general,
I
and that's
agree.
what likely attracted more people
She's not
to
thirsty.
Jordan.
It's not that her
Hmm.
personality is better because she's annoying to me too. For me anyway. But
Hmm.
to me, I think it's more so about the fact that she is not as thirsty. She's more sure of herself. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that is what people are more attracted to and like more. Jasmine comes off as
Hmm.
thirsty and easy to please, and you can read it all over her that she switches up depending on who she's around.
Yeah,
Hmm.
facts. I agree 100%. But I don't know how many more episodes of this show we got left.
I thought they probably would wrap by the end of the month. No,
That's what I was
maybe
thinking
not.
too. But next week seemed like it's gonna be even more turn because Simon, Bria's boyfriend, is gonna be in the hot tub with a naked Shanice.
Mm.
So
Thirst,
yeah.
thirst McGurst. Listen, Shanice is crazy as fuck, and I know everybody was mad at Alex for being like she was crazy, but when I
Oh,
saw that
I ain't
clip,
mad.
I wasn't. No, when I saw that clip of her grabbing his hands, I don't know why, but I know how that feels, and I was like, yeah, no, she is crazy. Like she's trying to. It's a physical thing, but it's a control thing, but it's also she's hyper like energetic about it, and that shit is creepy
It's
with
scary.
women. Yeah, like you need to be
Mm.
worried that you'll end up, not being able to move but being awake, and she'll be standing over you with that Joker like smile on her face.
It's that picture of that white girl. Y'all know that meme where she's like, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yes. Oh my God.
How
Yes.
did you sleep?
Like you creepy ass bitch. Leave me alone. Stop touching me. Like, yeah, I'm not mad that son felt the way he felt. She creeped me out too. And I also felt like it was thirsty for her to walk out that bathroom with her titties out.
Hell yeah. She
Oh
was
yeah,
trying to
she
see who
did
was
it on
gonna
purpose.
bite.
Yeah, I think Amir is gonna bite at some point.
He should. If she gonna let him fuck, he should. And he
Hmm.
thirsty to prove that he black anyway. So
With
You
the
think
hella
so?
tan, he came on with Watch What Happens Live. I'm like, we know you black. Like, why you so tan today?
He
Like,
had a tan.
like,
I did not
sir.
see that.
Sir.
yeah, he was super
I thought
tan.
about that whenever he turns up on that boy, Phil. See, come see what a little ass do to your big ass.
I was
I
here for him on that. I'm like,
Okay,
yeah, fold him
listen,
was.
up.
I was here for him coming and being his authentic self, but he like, hold on. I'm about to show them I get down, regardless of how
Yeah,
proper
he
I
probably know
speak.
how to wrestle. He probably know how to like tackle a nigga and like pop, pop, pop. You ain't gotta be a hood nigga to know how to do that.
Right.
But I
Mm.
absolutely thought it was hilarious the way he see what my little ass do with your big ass. He was like, you don't even know how to curse. You don't even know how
He
to
wasn't even
curse
saying
right.
yo big ass. He was saying your. See what a little ass do to your big
Your big
ass.
ass. Carlton, calm down. Carlton, chill. It's okay, Carlton. We don't have to take it there. Yeah,
Oh
he
god.
definitely had to prove a point. That shit was funny.
Yeah.
Hold up though, do y'all think he faking like he like black women? Because I hear a lot of people saying that shit about him.
I thought they
I
said
don't
his
think he
girlfriend was
faking.
white. Am I tripping?
I heard that too. I heard
What?
that.
Y'all heard
That his
what?
girlfriend was white.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
But I don't think that means he don't like black girls.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
that
that's
mean
very
that.
true. That's very true.
I
I
think
agree.
sometimes depending on where you are, certain black girls don't like certain black boys. Like we're kind of socialized to find certain personality types attractive sometimes. But I
Right.
feel like in 2023 that's not necessarily the norm as much anymore, depending on where you
Yeah,
live.
that's what I was gonna say, Bonnie. It's more so about your environment. You know what I'm saying? More
Yeah.
kids and people that go to multicultural schools are not just gonna
Right.
be into like just black people, and that goes for women too. They
Right.
be into the other races and stuff.
Well, I want to read this comment. It says, if I could get to it, It said he had a tweet saying he was scared of black women back in the day.
He said that.
Y'all, low key, I don't really hold people's old tweets against them. Now, if they was like, if you was a whole ass adult when you made the tweet, I'm gonna be looking at you sideways. But now I feel like the tides are changing where we like growing up with a generation of people that had Twitter when they was like fucking 13 and 14
True that.
and tweeting every single thought that came to your mind. And I feel like culturally, when you grow up in a space where you're not around black people, your mind can be tainted. The self-hate is there. Or depending on what type of household you was in, even the homophobia be there. And you don't
Right.
realize it until you get older. So
Yeah,
And you
I
get
I
don't,
exposed
agree.
to different
That's a
things.
great point,
yeah,
Necey.
I'm not for like holding people's tweets against them when
Against
they
them.
was young and dumb.
Right.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the
Great
super
point.
chat, pretty girl. She says, was having a rough day, but anytime I can catch a line with Bondi, instantly puts me in a great mood. Love me some you.
Ah, that's what's up.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's
Me and my
sweet.
girls always try to put on a good show.
Let's get it. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk to y'all about,
Hmm.
oh, I guess is damn everything rolling seamlessly for me. We talking about tweets.
Okay.
We talking about old ass tweets, and I said based on the time of somebody being an adult. So speaking of adult and tweets and posting dumbass shit,
Okay.
Chica, who is a rapper, I guess she's known. I never heard of her before. I've seen her face before, but usually anytime I see her face, it's attached to something that she said that was like wild. This time she was talking about Zonique Kid, but she didn't know it. So she hops on Twitter. She says, the lady next to me who thought it would be a good idea to buy yourself and your twin infants first class seats on a red eye flight, who just woke me up by bringing your screaming bastard to our seats to soothe her. I just bought $34 Wi Fi at 4 a.m. to call you a stupid bitch. Then she tweets, P.S. I hate you and I hope you get a paper cut between each finger tomorrow, you senseless wench. Like, are you literally mentally delayed? What makes you think a 1-year-old will shut their bitch ass up on a 7-hour flight that takes off at 1 fucking a.m.? You already had them up past their bedtime. I don't care the circumstance. Take your ass to economy at least. So, fans tweeted. They shared the tweet. And I guess it got back around to Zonique. T.I. and Tiny Daughter. And Zonique says, wait, I'm in tears. Not Chickaboo was mad at my child for cutting up in first class. You should have just sat there and been mad, babe. She's got priority as fuck. So I don't have the picture, but following this situation, the internet lit Chica's ass up. There were a million bazillion tweets calling her fat, calling her ugly, all types of tweets. And all of a sudden, she went into a mental health crisis. And she had to get offline. She was tired of people coming for her ass, and she apologized when she found out whose kids it was.
Hmm.
So my thing is this. Do she look like Boo Boo the Fool, or do she not look like Boo Boo the Fool? You tweet about people's kids, not knowing who they are, not expecting anybody to say anything to you. Um, I don't know. I just you entitled to feel how you feel. If you feel like them kids shouldn't have been on first class, but you know that you get a rush out of going viral by saying dumbass shit. And the minute people light your ass up, I mean, you called a 1-year-old a bastard. You
Mm.
talk bad about them, and then all of a sudden you in a mental health crisis because people are calling you fat on the internet. Like you can't be a victim and a villain at the same time. Shout out to Beyonce. So what are y'all's thoughts on Chica and Lonique?
I first of all, I think Zani handled that very well. I think she could have really got fly with her, even worse for her calling her child a bastard. And I believe she said it was who, her niece or something like that, or little cousin calling him a bastard. Chica, how she started off the conversation ain't too different than what a lot of people do. They talk a lot of shit about folks that they see out in public on Twitter, not expecting it to get around to nobody.
Oh, let me correct myself. She didn't
Mhm.
apologize.
Okay, that's what
She
I was
didn't
wondering.
apologize, but she did. Her tweets, when I was reading through them, sounded like she was leveling back. And she made a tweet saying something like, I don't have to apologize to anybody, or I'm not concerned about how anybody feels except for them. Almost as though she was saying, like, my bad, but not really saying it.
Hmm.
So Yeah, let me clarify that.
Um, but I feel
Um,
like how Chica started it, like she did what any normal person do. I feel they talk a lot of shit, not expecting it to get back around. But I will say, like you just kind of went too far. Like go to the second set of tweets where she was like, "I hate you," and "you wench," and "you this and that." Like
Oh yeah.
some part of me feels like this. I feel like Chica definitely deserved the dragging that she got. The fact that you asking somebody, are they mentally delayed? Now we're asking you, are you mentally delayed? Yikes. Um,
mm,
I just kind of feel like I don't know, y'all. I think she was ultimately wrong, and I feel like it's a way y'all could drag her without kind of talking about that lady weight and stuff. Like y'all ain't have to drag that lady about her being black as fuck and being, heavy set or whatever the case is, fat, whatever y'all want to say. But I guess that's what happened when you label people's children as fucking bastards. And it's like, are y'all really going off on her based on what she's saying about somebody's kids? Get it? Okay, gotcha. Or were y'all going off because she was talking about Zanique's kids? I was
mm.
because y'all really went the fuck in, and I feel like she definitely deserved it. But I was just wondering, where were people aligning
Yeah,
their aggression from?
yeah. Like how dare you talk about Zonique's kids, as opposed to if it was some regular person's kids, then it would
Right.
have been okay. I agree, but I also feel like Chica definitely gives I'm unhappy sometimes, so I do shit like use my social media to get out my angst. And
True.
this time I just ended up doing it to the wrong person. And I feel like you should have never put them fucking babies on your social media. I think that was too much off rip. Like put
Oh hell
actually
yeah.
taking a video and picture of them and putting them on social media. That shit was wrong to me. That's not okay. Calling them bitch ass kids, like I also feel like that was too much. I understand being annoyed. Like if I could get on Twitter and be like, why this aggravating ass bitch got her baby next to me crying like this? Like I might say some shit like that, absolutely. But I'm not gonna post no picture. You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna post no video about the shit. I'm just gonna tweet the shit,
Right.
anonymously. We ain't
Right.
really trying to have beef with nobody. We just trying to say this is aggravating to me right now.
And
So
then you take a
yeah.
picture of somebody else's child and then post it.
That's crazy. And
Right.
then
And
to
that's
your
where I'm
social
kind of
media
like, you
platform,
should
that's
have got your ass
crazy.
dragged. Like,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, you should have got dragged. But I am still wondering, like, okay, was y'all really upset overall? Or was y'all just mad once y'all found out it was Zanique's daughter?
Because y'all laugh about people talking about fuck them kids all the time when they're kids y'all don't care about. That's why.
Mm,
Ooh, we don't mean.
mm.
I don't mean fuck them kids like fuck them like that. I don't mean it like that.
But yeah, she's the clown for that. And I hate when people do a lot of FS like this and then turn around and want to be the victim at the same time. Like
Yeah.
that's not how that goes.
Oh,
That's not
Zanique
how
is
that
the
go.
one who posted the picture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was Zanique. Okay, gotcha. And I'm wondering, how did Zanique know? Oh, no, 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 no. I did see the cousin. So the cousin that was riding with them over to wherever they were traveling to, she got in, I believe, Chica's comments or somebody comments. And I thought that I had it. I was looking at my phone. I couldn't find it. But she went off on Chica. So she knew exactly who it was. She knew.
Because it was her kid
That's
too.
how Zanique
Hmm.
found out that it was Chica talking about her kids, exactly, because she said that Chica was doing all this rant and raving and bullshit on social media, but she was sitting next to her saying, "Oh, they are so good. They are some well behaved kids." Like it was
Yes.
sitting next to her being fake as hell and stuff.
Right. I
But and
read that
then
part.
she talked about how funky
She
Chica was
was.
smelling and
And
everything,
she
and she
switched
said, "When I
seats.
see you, I'm gonna
Ooh,
beat your funky ass." Like,
Yeah, she
ooh,
was like
not
she
your
wasn't even.
funky
She
ass.
did say she was funky, and then she said that she switched seats. That she wasn't even supposed to be sitting next to them kids, but
correct.
she switched seats with somebody.
Hmm.
Ah,
So yeah, it still get. I still thought it was her that posted the picture or the video, cause But at the end of the day, that mean that whoever that family member is, bitch, you also ignorant as fuck. Cause why would you post picture and video of the babies online to be attached to this story? That's just
that's what
unnecessary.
I was thinking. We know what flight they getting off of. That's weird.
Well, I
Mm-mm.
don't know. I just know she commented in the comment section, but I thought Chica posted it, but it looked like Zanique posted. Did the cousin even post anything? She just got in the comments.
Nah, the cousin. Yeah, I read the cousin's response. That's what I meant. Like I read all of what she was dragging the fuck out of old girl. Yeah, it was
Mm,
sad. She called her
mm-mm.
funky. She said she sat down. It stank.
I hate that.
Sad.
Well, I got a question for y'all. We're gonna jump into like 2 seconds of fashion. I'm gonna ask y'all: are y'all here for Drake and his manicure with the yellow and blue?
Sure.
Is it attached to a team or something? Is that what's going on?
Nah,
I'm
Golden State been
It's,
out the playoffs.
okay.
it's attached to attention.
I'm more annoyed by the jumpsuit and the braids and then the glasses. Like that's what I'm more bothered by. He's just doing so much at one time. It's like Drake G's, we get it, sir.
It was the
I'm
jumpsuit
annoyed.
for me.
State
It was
property,
yes,
like
hated
I
that.
just slapped the fuck out of you, Aubrey. Like stop it.
Yeah, please call him
Oh,
Aubrey because when I tell y'all Aubrey want to be a thug so bad,
they
and
said Denver is blue and
has
yellow.
never been it in his life. I don't
Mm.
mind his nails. Do what you want to do. I feel like when you rich, child, you could do what you want to do. Well, I'm
You
lying. I'm
know,
lying because I don't like when Uzi Vert do certain shit. I'm lying.
oh, that
Uzi can't
diamond
do
in his
nothing in my
fucking
book. Yeah, he can't
middle
do
of his
nothing.
forehead.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't
I'm
like
not
nothing
gonna fuck
Uzi
Drake
do.
anyway. Like that's the point. I'm not gonna fuck you anyway, so I don't care about what you're doing with your nails.
I've seen some male manicures that actually don't look bad. I think that yellow is too light for his skin tone. Um, no, low key, if we gonna do it,
Agree.
let's do it right, baby.
Agree.
Let's do it. Let's
Agree.
do it right.
He should have got black nails.
That would have
Yeah,
been
he should
cute.
have black.
Black
I
nails would have been cute.
I seen a man with some like negative space design nails, and they actually look good. Like they was clear with black designs, like black stripes on one, black stars on one, but they were clear. So he had like a clean cut nail with the black designs. I'm like, okay, cool. But I don't think that yellow is for him. And Jamie, like you said, I think it's attached to attention.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
wrong.
Well, y'all, we're about to get into y'all's favorite TV show. We're about to get into some TV talk. But before we do, y'all do us a favor and like the video. All right, y'all. Love and Marriage Huntsville. This show was actually giving, I would say. I've been enjoying the show.
Hmm.
Um, I was trying to figure out where to place this. I'm like, based on the way Real Housewives of Atlanta's going, is Atlanta at the end? Is Love and Marriage Huntsville at the end? I don't know. Let's just get into it. So there's a couple things to talk about. Number one is the sit down that Tisha Marceau and Martell had. This is in regards to Tiffany asking Sheree, do you think he not gonna cheat because your put just good like that? Your cooch just good like that. I'll say
Hilarious.
that. Let's talk about that real quick. How did y'all feel? Because yeah, it's been a couple weeks. How did y'all feel about Tiffany having that conversation with Sheree? Was y'all like, ugh, why would you do that? I know for me, I was here for it. I didn't give no fucks. I
Hmm.
felt like this is a show. The job has to be done.
The
You
job
brought
has
your
to be
clown
done.
ass on this show saying that was your man. You was going to stick beside him. So somebody got to ask the question. So for me, I didn't feel no way. Actually, I can't even say I didn't feel no way. I felt more compelled to love Tiffany just for her asking them questions. So
It was
how did y'all
funny.
feel?
I laughed. I literally like, like
I
I
screamed.
literally,
I was
yeah,
in the couch.
yeah. I was like, oh my god, yeah. No, it was enjoyable to watch. I'm not even gonna lie,
Mm-hmm.
especially because we know that Sheree has done this to people many times, like
Hmm.
question them about their personal business that don't have nothing to do with her. So I got a tickle out of it. I also felt like it connected the fact that I felt like they were on. Sheree is like trying to pretend like Martell isn't who we think he is
Hmm.
Right.
on her show. And so they
Delusional.
come on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and the people over here like, like, have you seen him though? Like, you know what's going on over here? Like, you know he's still running behind Mel over here, right? Like, I think
Hmm.
that's what Tiffany was like doing, and I do think a battery was put in her back by production to do
Hmm.
so. I think it was like, I'm gonna come in, I'm a 1-2 punch this shit, and then I'm gonna go sit down and have my baby. I think that's what the intention was. I think it worked. I'm not mad about it. Once again, it's a reality show. This is not real life where of course somebody coming up to you asking you questions about your pussy might result in them getting smacked, you know what I'm saying, like, but it's
Hmm.
not real life. And to me, I think we have to be realistic. If we think somebody's relationship is for show and then we ask them about it on the show, are we really expecting them to be mad about that?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't mad at Tiffany about it. I could understand everybody else being upset about it. I get it, but I personally thought it was funny and
Yeah, as
enjoyed
fuck. As
it.
fuck.
Um,
I
for
watched it
me,
twice.
I was definitely bothered by Tiffany. Some of the questions I feel like she asked, the fans wanted to know. So it was like, yeah, ask the questions. But when you ask her a question, don't give her a chance to answer and then say, oh, so you think your pussy's that good? It's giving you're trying to poke at that lady to see how she's gonna respond to something. And for
Mm-hmm.
me, it's like regardless of how Sheree may have acted on her show, where she's asked questions of people she actually know. You don't know this lady. In addition to that, you the same person that don't want nobody prying into your relationship when you went on a trip with whatever the Dr. Francis and he's trying to help you with your relationship. You don't want to sit there and answer any questions, but you got the audacity to sit here with somebody else and pry into their relationship. And then the other gag for me was how she tried to align it as though she was doing a favor for Mel. And that gets on my nerves because it's like you do things for your own agenda. And you know
Mm-hmm.
Mel does not want to be affiliated with the bullshit. So for you to try to use her as an excuse to pry into somebody's shit, now
Yeah.
everybody coming to Mel talking about this shit and she looking like what the fuck going on? Like she's not trying to be in there. So it's like I don't be using that lady for your bullshit. So if you wanted to ask the questions, that's what you did. You asked the questions, but I do feel like when you dived a little deeper, you was trying to poke at that lady. Like I was like,
Oh, it
Tiffany,
was
now,
definitely
girl, you don't
antagonistic.
want nobody asking you and your man about nothing with your relationship, but you want to give all the advice and ask all the questions.
This is
And
all
for
true.
that, I was like, I don't really like that, Tiffany. I couldn't rock with her.
I
I
didn't
agree
like.
with everything you said, and it still didn't really make me feel no way. Cause
Okay,
I'm
that's what I
kind
was
of
gonna.
like super duper like looking at Sheree and Martell like I really don't care. Like I just
Like,
don't
yes.
care. So
Mm-hmm.
I agree with everything you said, Tiffany. You know she can dish it out and she can take it, but I also feel like if Sheree would have got like when Sheree cleared her and said, "But I also watched your show and you cheated too." Like I was like fair. Like I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have
Mm-hmm.
a problem with any of that.
Yeah.
To me, it wasn't until the gang up thing happened, and I felt like every time she tried to make a point to Martell, Marceau was
That
following up behind and
yes.
kind of making the situation more antagonistic. And we know that Martell can fly off the handle, so I
Yep.
didn't like that.
I didn't either. I did not. I was like, Marceau, why? And that like really pissed me off because I'm like, Martell, granted, I may not like how Tiffany handled things or whatever. You know, she gonna always say something off the wall. She's been doing this since she come on the show, so we really shouldn't be surprised for real. But why are you letting Marceau be even more messier with the situation? Like, I just did not.
You know,
He just got on my nerves.
I wouldn't be surprised if Marceau asked him for that opportunity. Like,
You think
I
so?
would, hell yeah, because just the way that he came off, he was getting something out of having the opportunity to disrespect her, in my opinion. I think, like, I've never seen him not give no fucks as much as he did this episode. Like, for example, when he had a conversation with Tisha
Mm-hmm.
and told Tisha, "You can go gossip. I don't care." For one, when do you do that? Usually, you be trying to keep shit tight. You want shit to come out the way you want it to come out, but you specifically want her to go tell everybody what happened.
Mm.
Next, you hop in the confessional making comments talking about, oh, well, she's really not that pretty. Then you make a comment talking about what type of human you didn't want to degrade her. And then lastly, you had to get a kick out of saying you also learned she not quick to slap a motherfucker. You wanted somebody to slap her because you're still upset about something. I feel like
Yeah.
he was he was like unnecessarily hyped. Like literally, whenever some shit go down, it's like, bitch, I've been waiting to get some shit off my chest anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was getting, and that to me was the issue. Meanwhile, I do agree with you, Jamie. I think that Tiffany was coming off a little bit. Well, you didn't say these words, but I think that Tiffany was coming off a little bit Karen-esque. It's because I love blended families. Because my thing is, I liked when she said what she said to Sheree because she said it with her chest.
Mm-hmm.
But then whenever the men approach you on it, instead of you keeping that same energy, you like, I like
I
blended
think she
I want
families.
to
I
say
think
something
she
about
would have
that
kept
though.
it with Martell. I think Marcel was
Yes.
adding like his
Yes.
extraness, and it's crazy to me, y'all, because Marcel, you said a lot of fly ass shit at the beginning part of these seasons, and then now now you're trying to come down on this lady. Like, I don't have to like it because I'm not a part of the show. But you've done some of the same shit she doing. Like, he just was
He
doing
did
too
the same
much.
thing she did in the moment. He literally said he didn't like the fact that she was giving her unsolicited, disrespectful opinion. And you gave your unsolicited, disrespectful opinion
That's
that
crazy.
Tiffany deserved to get smacked because of what she
Yes.
said. When at the end of the day, we grown as fuck. That lady pregnant. Nobody should be insinuating that she needed to get smacked for asking some messy ass people about their fake ass messy relationship. It's just not that deep. It ain't like she hit somebody kid or something like that. She just
Mm-hmm.
asked, "Oh, so you think your pussy gonna be good enough to keep this nigga from running after
Yes.
Mel?" Like that. It's not. It's stuff we've all said online. It's stuff we've all said about this show, y'all. And to me, Sheree is faking. Martell is faking. He don't even really like that lady like that. I don't even believe them people have sex. I think it's all
I
fake,
don't
and I
think so
think
either.
everybody knows it's fake. So I think Tiffany
Yeah.
was the only person that's not scared of Martell. So she was gonna ask the questions. But Necey, what you were saying about how she wasn't standing on it in the moment, at
Mm-hmm.
first she was. Cause she was like, I'm
Yeah,
nosy. I wanted to know. She was like,
she
you were
did.
shocked that I asked? Like,
Yeah, she was
like
like,
I'm
y'all know me.
always, yeah, y'all know how I am. I'm always in the business. So I feel like initially she was saying I'm nosy. I wanted to know. And then I feel like it felt like it was getting heightened. So
Mm-hmm.
she then said the blended family thing to bring it down. I think if Marceau wasn't there, she would have been able to neutralize Martell, because eventually she was like, well, what I learned is y'all are she's very strong, she can handle
Right.
herself, y'all are in a good place, she understands where you are right now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was positive stuff. And I feel like essentially they knew that Martell is not smart enough to have a real argument with Tiffany, because Tiffany would just, like she did, try to neutralize him so he wouldn't be upset with her. And I think that was the goal. Okay, Martell, we understand you're upset, but this is the job, so let me just try to calm you down. Marceau is then there every time she says something, combating it. And I feel like that was making Martell angry all over again, which made it harder for her to get him not to be angry with her. So in a moment, I felt like it was just about not having this man who we know can fly off the handle. It was about calming him down and me saying whatever I need to say.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't
Blended
think it was about
families,
calming him down. I think that exact moment is when the Kareness thing happened, in my opinion. I think that Tiffany knew that she had to maneuver around that situation in a way that didn't make her look bad. And the thing that was Karen about it to me is what do the Karens always say? I'm not a bad person. I'm a good person. They always have to convince you of their goodness.
True.
So I think that as soon as Marceau started calling her out for shit that she actually did, she
Mm-hmm.
knew, like, okay, now I look like a bad person. How can I flip this to say that it wasn't my intent?
Okay.
Mm,
Got
okay.
you on that part. But I would like to say it's just as Karen Ness to say I'm about to go tell on you. Like when they was like, okay, well, I'll have a conversation with Lou later. Like, oh, you gonna go tell on her? Like
Yeah.
that's just as Karen esque.
I'm
And
gonna
and
go speak
Mar
to the manager.
yes, and Marceau was like, yes, we're gonna go tell on you. And it's just
More
like
so, he just did too much. But when Tiffany went and told Tiff, I thought it was when Tiffany went and told Lou, I'm sorry, that was definitely giving Karen,
Hell
because
yeah.
she started a conversation. They came at me in
At
a
me.
certain way,
they
and
did.
then
I
as she
feel
continued to
attacked.
talk, her voice changed. I was like, "Ooh, this is giving Karen this." But why you ain't been tell your man what you said to that lady?
I
Why
know,
you waited
right?
till somebody asked you and
Well,
then you
she
want to go
did.
talk to him?
She said the first part. She didn't say the part about the pussy, but she said the part about how I feel the day to cheater, which was bad
Yeah.
enough. She did say that part. She was like, I
Mm.
mean, I've cheated, you've cheated. I wanted to know. Shit,
But
and
this
I
was
was
Mm-hmm.
after
like,
the fact. She didn't say that to him before she even had a sit down with Martell. She went and told her husband
no,
it
yeah, she saw her
after
husband that after.
Martell said, "I'm gonna go talk to your
Yes.
husband." That's what I was
She
Yeah.
was
like. Why
moving
you ain't
real
tell
slick,
him
like,
that night?
Oh, I feel like that probably was one of them. Sheree didn't act like it was a big deal. I did my job. What I gotta say something for? Like I really don't think that she registered that it was a big deal because
She never
Sheree,
does. You're right. Because she never do.
she don't have the self awareness. I think. So yeah, I really do think she did, because when she talked about it with Stormy, she was like the conversation went really well. Like Sheree was cool. Like I don't think she, I don't think she thought that it was a real issue like that until Martell brought it up, and I really do think she was kind of surprised. And then it was like, okay, well, I was just being nosy. I wanted to know, like,
Like,
like
damn,
that.
y'all mad for real?
Yeah. She was
Like, y'all
like,
know this the show.
Like
This
y'all
what
know
we
what I
do.
do. Like what we upset
right.
for?
Like, y'all know production told me to ask that. Why y'all really getting mad at me? Okay, let me come
Production
up.
did not tell her to ask if you think he not gonna leave because your puss good like that.
Oh, no,
He
no,
did
no, no,
not tell
no. No, but definitely ask her about what she thinks about the shit that people say about Martell, and she worded it the way she wanted to because she's dry and an asshole.
And Sheree could have shown enough left. Like she be quick any other time, so she could have either been quick with her, or she could have just said, "I'm not gonna entertain that with
But
you."
she was quick. She was just like, well, you cheated too. So she caught
No,
her
no, I'm
up.
talking about when she said the pussy thing. She just
Oh,
kind of looked
yeah.
like she looked at producers like, "Whoo, this girl here." Like I'm like, you could have just got
Right.
up. You could have said something.
She did look at them
Like, girl,
like,
you
y'all
doing too
sat me down for
much.
this.
I would have said,
But
"What you
ain't
think? Do you think it's
wasn't
good?
nobody
What you
else
think? You
talking
think it's
to
good
you?
enough for him?"
Wasn't nobody else talking to her at that party. So I mean, she probably just kind of felt like, well, I guess I'll just go with the flow, child. We over here at Love and Marriage Huntsville. This ain't my show, so I'ma just chill.
What I will appreciate with Tiffany is Tiffany was not a fan. I feel like everybody else didn't approach her on that because they
Yes.
were fanning out. But
That's
Tiffany
what
was
I
just
said.
like, I mean, bitch, I'm gonna ask you. So I did like that aspect. Like she wasn't afraid to just
Tiffany
go up
was
there and
like,
talk to her.
they could get it, I could get it, you could get it too.
Right.
Everybody else was like, oh, Sheree, she's never met her before, but I have. Bitch,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
let me read this comment.
You still wasn't gonna ask nothing, which is why she did it. That's why I think production told her to do it because they knew the Scots wouldn't. My bad,
Mm-hmm.
Paul.
Thank you for the super chat, pretty girl. Pretty girl says, do y'all think Marceau inserted himself in Martell business because he don't have nothing going on, or try to keep them from pushing the narrative that the Scots are hiding something?
That plus, I think, like Necey said, he wanted an opportunity to get back at Tiff and Lewis for something. Anytime he can bring up any of their shit and throw it in their face, he's gonna do it. Since
Mm-hmm.
they did that when they first came on the show with him.
Mm-hmm.
I also think he has something against women like Tiffany, women that'll call him out on his bullshit that kind of don't go along with they foolishness that they have going on. Luda also doesn't play into the bros before hoes agreement that they have
Yeah,
going
he don't
on.
do that.
So
Yeah.
because of all of those things, I think that they kind of bully them intentionally.
I agree.
And I think that was the whole thing. I think it was a setup. I think the whole thing was a setup. I think Marceau knew what happened before Tiffany got there. Knew he was
Yeah.
going to be a part of that conversation. That's why he
Yep.
was like, "And what else did she say?" You knew
Yeah.
what she said before she got there. Second of all, I think that Tisha also, I'm trying to, because I think they shot it out of order, because I think that when Tisha first heard about it, she was just like, why are you surprised, and didn't think it was that serious or that Marceau was gonna be that mad about it. Because when she was in the car with Kiki, it seemed like she was all upset, and then was like, well, what about her marriage? That's when she insinuated that Tiffany was cheating on Lou. And I'm like, to me it seemed like y'all all kind of came up with a plan to make
That's what they
Tiffany,
was gonna talk about.
yeah, like we gonna put it out there that Tiffany cheated on Lou, and we're gonna make her the bad guy. And the way to make her the bad guy, think about the way Marceau was having that conversation. Marceau, you said worse shit to people. Oh my God, gasp. When he said gasp, I was like, nigga, you being facetious, and it's obvious.
I can't
That's
stand that type of him and his brother both do that. I
mm-hmm.
can't, like, that's
Annoying.
that's the type of stuff that makes me more upset than somebody just being directly disrespectful. Because I feel like you playing in my face. Like you sitting here strategically misunderstanding, construing what she's saying, and it's like, ooh, that stuff will drive me up a while. Like I would literally want to wring my hands around her neck.
That's hella messed up if that's what they're doing, trying to flip the story to make it seem like Tiffany out there cheating. I don't know if she is or isn't, but it's like, Tisha, you didn't like that when that was being put out about you. So why would you sit up there and open that can of worms just because somebody said that your husband put you about your business? It's a fact. It ain't like she made nothing up with that. It's
It
a
took
fact.
me
I don't understand.
Blame
it took me
Stormy.
back. Yeah, and I want to talk about that.
Blame
But it took
Stormy
me
for
back. Yeah, let's talk about Stormy.
Because of the
So
way
let's
she ran it back. Like she first
Oh,
the
got
way
you.
she
Yeah,
ran
yeah,
that
yeah,
story
yeah.
back, because Tiffany and her were both having a conversation, and the way she ran it back to Tisha, it was like Tiffany was just sitting there talking bad about her and Marceau, and that's not really what happened.
yeah.
Got you.
So talking about the baby shower, because really ain't shit else happened. I mean, we've learned about Maurice and Kimmy not having as much sex, and they spent like 14 damn minutes of the episode talking about that, which was
And
like entirely too long.
I fast forwarded. Fast
I
forward
did
like a
too.
hoe. I said I don't have time.
And I rarely do that. It's like, if you show us talking to your husband about him not getting us enough sex, poor him, you fighting for your life. Ooh. Next, we get a scene of you talking to your friend about your husband not getting enough sex. Like, my goodness, get this off the screen was a filler. So I was like, okay, just based on the amount of time that y'all allotted to them talking about nothing, I know that the end of this episode is going to be a to be continued. And it
Mm-hmm.
was. So we end up going to the baby shower, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. When we get to the baby shower, the table is talking about what Tiffany said to Sheree, and Tisha is the one relaying the story. Nell is asking all the questions she want to be in. She want to know what's going on. So shortly after that, Mel comes on. When Mel comes, they like, do you mind us talking about Martell? Is it gonna bother you? They relay the story back to Mel, talking about Tiffany asking her if you think your puss too good enough for him to not cheat on you, right? So Mel was like, okay, I'm gonna get up and lead this conversation. Only for her to come back to the table and Stormy, who is on payroll, on call, here on a mission. Stormy frames her question like, so you didn't know her? So you didn't know her? She asked her that twice. Like the first time you didn't even let Mel answer you. And Mel says, well, I met her at a book signing where at a, convention where I was a key speaker at. And then Stormy again, I was breaking down her language, just listening to her word choice, the way that she answered the questions. It was given very much antagonistic and you wanted beef. She said, oh, well, Tiffany said that you drove. You drove. Why the fuck do it matter what transportation she took to get in that picture? You trying to add in sprinkle in a little bit of desperation. You trying to sprinkle in Mel went cross country, drove an hour to go see Sheree. That's what you're trying to sprinkle in. So you said Tiffany drove, or she says, Tiffany told me that you drove to her book signing and you were a fan. And then Mel explains, like, no, I know her from XYZ. Like, I met her one time. So Stormy then looks at her husband, Courtney. Courtney look at her. They kind of make a face as though the answer's not good enough for them. And it's coming off real, real hater-like. And it's taking me all the way back to every single episode that we've seen up to this point. All the moments, to me, I feel like this episode was like, aha, got it. You've been talking all that shit about Mel behind closed doors, and you want to keep that same energy in person. You want to ask her the hard questions because you don't want to. You want to come off as though you too real for this shit. So you trying to keep the same energy that you keep when you talking about her when she's not around, which is that she's fake, which is that she be trying to act like she's fake. That's the overall story. So that's why when we saw her at the spa, she said to her, oh, well, that's how you get past shit. You talk about it. That was her first comment, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get to the tea party. And when the lady is talking about elegance, Stormy talking about, oh, well, I like to cuss. You too real for that shit. So it's an ongoing theme. And I think that Stormy is a hater. But y'all tell me if y'all got anything from Stormy. It was a quick, like, 2-second conversation. But I was like, it's giving hater.
I didn't even catch the whole looking over at Courtney, but for me, y'all know how I feel about that. I don't see nothing wrong with Stormy or anything that she does more than anybody else on this show. Cause I feel like all them hoes equally messy. It's interesting that people would find an issue with what Stormy asked, but then find an issue with Nell pushing the whole conversation to begin with. And when Nell was sitting up there talking about it, Tisha said, "Oh well, let's ask Mel and see if she's okay with like." Miss Nell was the one that really got shit started. She kept bringing up and said this and said that and and eating and said this. And I'm like, how y'all don't see this woman messy as fuck? But then because of whatever y'all heard of in the blogs or whatever y'all heard about Stormy first, knowing that she and Mel are not on one accord, y'all immediately going to Stormy like, I don't like how Stormy asked this. I don't like how Stormy did that. But it's like, make sure that's fine. Just make sure y'all look at the other folks at the table because everybody on the show really full of shit. That's the short answer for me.
I agree, and I'm only saying the shit about Stormy, because I feel like every time they've talked about Tiffany, they have totally negated the fact that Stormy was a part of whatever conversation that Tiffany was having. Like every single time is what Tiffany said. Like Stormy has went back to Tisha and them several times to talk about some shit that happened between she and Tiffany when they were having a conversation together about these people. They were also both the two people at the spa that was making sock puppets and doing all kind of messy shit. So to me, it's always been Tiffany and Stormy trying to rev up
On the
shit
same
amongst
page.
amongst the original 6 people. But for some reason, they've decided to malign Tiffany and ignore Stormy's part in it. And that's
I
the
feel the
part.
opposite. More because more people praise Tiffany for her antics than Stormy. Stormy, the one that be
Did
called
they?
out the most to me. Absolutely, just
I
with
don't
the
have no
questioning.
issue with no mess. My issue
But
with Stormy is that
mhm,
everything with like
She's making an
her
adversary out of
energy.
Mel for no reason
Yes.
to me. I do agree with that.
And I feel like every time she has a conversation with Mel, she's looking for a moment to match the energy that she's been talking behind closed doors. That I don't like. But
mhm,
she only does that when it's people watching.
mhm.
Like when we got her on episode 1 or 2 and she was talking to Mel in private, it was okay, cool, we're going to kiss and make up. Every single moment after that, it was beef, 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 or not even direct beef. It was, I'm gonna try to make you look bad. I'm gonna try to make you look bad. I'm gonna try to make you look bad. I don't
My
like
main
that.
See
thing,
how I
the
see it.
spy.
I don't be thinking she be wanting to even ask her any questions, and production be wanting her to engage or interact. That's what I be getting from it. Like,
Nah.
Mm-mm.
oh,
She ain't
yeah,
have
that's
to do
what I
it.
get.
For me, okay, so when they were at the spa, you are literally in a space where nobody is supposed to be screaming and cursing, and
Hmm.
you are finding a way to make Mel seem like she fake and phony because she doesn't want to scream and curse in a fucking spa. And after that, you want to keep repeating how her tea was whack, and you much more enjoyed screaming and hollering at the spa. That is
Hilarious.
making that's to me making Necey's point about her
Mhm.
just trying to make anything that's about like the etiquette and all of that is just a representation for Mel. I think people should be able to just express themselves as they see fit. I'm like, well, people can express themselves how they see fit, but then when there's no resolve, don't be surprised. I don't know why you would be so ignorant as to say in your confessional you think that people should be able to cuss and get it all out and then move forward. No, you curse people out, you offend them all over again, and now we're even more beefed out than we were before. So to me, I feel like she was just trying to pick at anything Mel was doing and try to make it seem like Mel's fake and she's too real for this shit. So she got to keep proving that she real, especially when she's around Tisha and them.
Mm-hmm.
But to
Yep.
me, the thing that even made her even more thirsty and messy was the Martell thing.
Mhm.
Remember when they were sitting down and she went and called Tisha and Tisha was like, I don't know what you called me for. This is between Kiki and Tiffany. And she was like, because well, da 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 da. The way she was explaining it, it just kind of felt like you trying real hard to make these moments happen. And that's why I
Mhm.
felt like it's given production plant, but because I want to keep my job. Like Carlos sat down with some of them, it was like, listen, your job's on the line. Do you want to be like
I
Destiny
can
or
see
what?
I can see the production. I can see the production point because that speaks
Yes.
to what I was saying about how I feel like production forces her to act certain things or bring up certain things in settings that she likely does not even want to bring up or discuss. So I can see that.
I think she
I
wants to
will
discuss it
say,
though when they got to do with Mel, because I think she wants to. I don't know what it is, but it feel like beef. It feel like beef, and you don't want to say what the beef is. Because when they was talking, and Tiffany was like, well, are you never gonna say what your issue is with Mel? She was like, I don't have any feelings. I don't have any issues, but my mom had a lot of feelings, and she
Mhm.
felt good. It was like, go. Why are you passive aggressively working through your mama? What's your issue? Why you
yeah.
don't want to say what it is?
Mm-hmm. You can tell she been talking shit through everybody else. I think the group has had conversations with her like, now you see it. Now you see Mel is like this.
Mhm.
This is
That's
what
a
we've been telling
possibility.
you. And I think that's why her mission is everything that comes out of her mouth is to prove a point of Mel being fake or she too real for this shit or let me catch you in a lie. So you don't know her, even though Mel never said that. So I was like, I want to read this comment where it says Stormy is destiny now. I will say, even though Stormy is getting on my fucking nerves because I don't feel like she's saying it with her chest,
Mhm.
um, I think she a better Destiny. I don't feel like, oh, I want her off the show because she's not getting along with me. I think she's a better Destiny. I think that she
Absolutely.
doing her job.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I'm not mad at it at all, but it's just definitely like, ooh, girl, you you know, you're just being real messy and you being passive aggressive about it, and we just want you to see what the issue is. Stop using your mama. We tired of people using their mamas. Don't be
Very much
Tisha.
so.
Don't be Tisha.
Yeah, don't bring your mama on the show for the people to light her up. So the last thing, well, one of the last things that happened at the baby shower is Martell shows up, Mel leaves, and then the men have a conversation outside where Big Lou is finally like, "Oh, you're not gonna talk to my wife like this," and then at the end they ultimately end up, "Ha ha 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 ha, love you, bro." They end up being cool again. I guess they make it sound like it's just one big misunderstanding, but I don't really think the conversation was productive between the men. I think that it was just men doing what men do, how they can fight and, be cool again. Mm-hmm. And it really wasn't even giving that much of a fight. I'm glad that Lewis said what he needed to say, but I still don't really feel like he did his wife any justice, because the minute that Marceau was like, "Oh, well, your wife is wrong. Are you going to defend her if she's wrong?" Mm-hmm. It was almost as though they didn't say it, but it felt like it was a man to man. Your wife shouldn't be doing this. And that's when Lewis finally backed up and said, "Well, I'm not going to defend her if she wrong. If she wrong, she wrong, but you won't disrespect her." So it just wasn't enough for me. And maybe he didn't give enough because he didn't know all the extra shit that Marceau was saying in the confessional. I mean, it wasn't all that wasn't at the same time. Calling her, not that pretty. Just
insinuating that she should be smacked. Yeah, I was about to say the insinuation that she should have been hit for what was said.
The slap of motherfucker comment would have been enough for me to want my husband to put hands on him. Like immediately without having a discussion.
That's why I didn't understand why everybody was upset that she went home and told Lou. Bitch, I would have called Lou on the phone on the way home. He would have knew what happened before I got there. Okay, Child Lyric would have been on his way over to wherever the fuck I was. Like before.
Just text him. Pull up right now. We can discuss it right. You ain't gotta go find my husband. Let me tell him to come meet us here right now.
Okay, and it's 2-3 of these niggas. So bring a homeboy. Okay. Yeah, like fuck all that, because they like to gang up on people, and I think that's the reason why Lou felt more inclined to back down, because he knew if he pushed, then it was gonna turn physical, because them niggas like to gang up on people. I really do think
I think he was pushing towards the wrong person when he did push. And Martell grabbed his hand because he kind of like pushed Martell's shoulder. Martell kind of grabbed his hand, and then Lou walked up on him and said, "Don't do that." And I'm like, "Well, you don't do that first. Well, you put your hands on him first. But your energy really should go to Marceau, because Marceau was the most disrespectful, surprising.
It should also quiet. But Martell also said, "I didn't do nothing wrong." No, I didn't do nothing wrong. Like, to me, I feel like you definitely got Marceau to be there with you so you can tag team Tiffany. You did, because you didn't think you could verbally have an argument with her without getting too heated. So you wanted backup. And to me, I feel like that's what was fucked up, that you couldn't just have a conversation with her on your own. You needed the backup. And he's saying he wasn't wrong. I think that's what made Lou mad. Lou was like, so if you were still married to Mel and I would have went to her, you would have been cool with that. But he was touching him because he was letting him know, nigga, I see you and I'm getting mad and I'm letting you know I ain't gonna fight you, but I would. Like, this touching shit for men is letting you know I would touch you. Like, no, you could get touched.
I think Martell
was doing too much.
You think Lou was doing too much?
Mm-hmm. When he did the touch, and Martell did like this, and then you gonna tell this man, "Don't do that. Don't put your hands on me. We having a conversation. You ain't gotta like what the fuck I'm saying, but don't put your hands on me."
I was
for all that. More than that.
I was for all that.
I don't think he did too much, but it took me back to whenever they was at Mazzani. Did y'all see Big Bro Maurice pop outside?
Yes.
About some shit that didn't have nothing to do with him.
And he did it again.
And then he incites pushing and tussling.
He always incites the shit, y'all. He always incites it. He was the one that pushed old boy the first time, pushed Martell. Maurice was the one that pushed Martell first, and Martell started going crazy. It was Maurice that did that shit. Then Maurice brought his messy ass out here this time, and instead of being impartial, he backed up what Martell and Marceau was saying, which I think made Lou feel even more defensive. Because it's like, now I gotta argue with 3 of you niggas instead of just 2 of you niggas.
Right,
like,
which is why he backed up.
Exactly. And I think he had to kind of like prove a physical point
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think the main thing is that you the main one that should have handled it better because it was you that had the issue with her. So the fact that you needed these other men to be there with you, I really have more of an issue with you, especially because he didn't know the shit that Marceau had said. He just knew Marceau was there for it.
Right.
Like,
Well, I think Martell I think Martell, as a former husband, trifling, for sure, but as a former husband, I think he knew that Marceau got carried away. I think the whole intention, the whole plot was to bring him there and let him, antagonize Tiffany. But at one point, I feel like Martell was like, okay, he doing too much. When he said slap a motherfucking comment, he got up. Martell got up to leave
Mm.
first
Mhm.
because he knew that Marceau had gotten to the point of, okay, you gonna piss off this lady husband, you getting disrespectful.
Hmm.
And then he said, he was one who said first, we gonna reach out to Big Lou. So I think he knew it was fucked up, but I
mm-hmm.
still wish that all of that would have been directed to Marceau, but it wasn't because they live in that brotherhood of secrecy where he ain't gonna say, nah, you need to handle that with Marceau. Marceau was the
Mhm.
one who said XYZ
He gonna
because
take
they
the lick.
covered. Yeah,
He gonna
that's
take the
what it
lick.
was. And Marceau sat there and watched as though
He
you
laughed.
didn't know that the beef was supposed to be yours.
He
Like,
was smiling and everything, and then kept saying shit like him saying, "What human? What human would ask that?" Y'all, that really bothered me. Like I
calling her
pay
like that damn
attention.
dog, basically.
Yeah, I pay attention to when people dehumanize other people, and I don't like that shit. That's very intentional to me to insinuate that somebody's not a human. Who says shit like that? Unless somebody is intentionally trying to dehumanize somebody so that when they bully them later on, you won't be as upset. It's a
Mm.
setup to me. Ooh, makes me think even more so that they intentionally wanted to put that story out about Tiffany, and this was a part of making her look bad before they did that.
Mhm.
Because I think Marceau and them think they're so smart, they figured out how reality TV works. So I think a lot of times they do things when we're not paying attention, and later on we're like, oh, that's why you did that shit. For instance, that Belinda shit. Everybody's talking about Belinda now, but I distinctly remember the
Who's
way
Belinda?
Belinda is the woman that Martell is allegedly dating
Oh, that lady.
that we don't
Yes.
know about. The one he who purchased the house for him or some shit, like purchased property for him. Something like that happened. Queen Sheba asked him about that during that interview. She purchased property for him, but apparently he was able to give her back her money by now. But whatever the situation was, it was an exchange of money and you buying a house for a man. That sounds crazy to me.
Mm.
Um so it's very much believable that he has a his little lineup together now that's funding his lifestyle. That's why he was talking about how his money's back up now. But Belinda was on that first wine tasting that they had, and I distinctly remember the way Marceau went up to her. Something about it felt like why he went up to her like that. Like it seemed intentional. And now that we understand who she is, it was almost like he was trying to point her out without really pointing her out. Like I know the people watching
Oh.
not gonna really know what's going on right now, but Martell knows what's going on. So when I go over here and start talking to this woman, out of all of these women, I know what I'm doing, but everybody else don't know what I'm doing. And y'all know he likes to get off. He gets off on playing in people's faces. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
Girl.
So
Child.
now I'm absolutely like, yeah, yeah, y'all all know each other's tea. Y'all know that he had more than one woman. That's another thing. When he kept saying he wasn't a cheater and Tiffany was a cheater, like if I'm a cheater, you're a cheater too. I don't think so because personally, I think that it wasn't just Ariane. Ariane was just the one that got pregnant,
I
and she
feel
was the
like
one that was ignorant enough to talk as much. You
I
know.
feel like if you cross the line and you married, you know what I'm saying, and it's not an understanding with your husband, you're a cheater, period. It don't matter how many times one cheated or whatever, you still a cheater. The difference is Tiffany ain't get pregnant by nobody. That's the problem that you had, Martell. When you did get this girl pregnant, because see, here's the thing: it's not just that you have a child now. Y'all had two pregnancies prior to that child,
Mm,
so you didn't even try and correct nothing. So
mm-mm.
I mean, like, yeah, y'all on the same level. Yours just a little more worse because you got a child out of the deal,
That's
like a
not the only reason
dummy.
why. That's it's not just the child. To me, it was also that he like it men do this sometimes, but I think they
Mhm.
create triangulation with their side chicks to where they kind of lay all of the issues they have with their wife at their side chick's feet and makes the side chick also angry with the wife.
Mm,
So
Yeah.
then
which is
she's
so stupid.
It is, but you notice
Right.
the way she constantly goes at Mel, and to me, it feels like she's a bullet that he loaded into a gun. Ariane is
Mm-hmm.
a bullet he loaded into a gun to continue to shoot at Mel all the time, and to me, that makes it even more nefarious. And I
Mhm.
don't believe that that's what happened with Tiffany. Also, if I remember correctly, Tiffany never admitted to cheating during her marriage. She admitted to cheating in high school, but I do think
Oh,
she
I
cheated
forgot
in her
about
I thought she
that.
marriage.
cheated in that
Yeah,
very first marriage, which is why she felt
that's the
bad, and
one.
he shortly
Th-
passed away.
But
that's the
she
one because she
that
was with him for a long time.
yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
But
gotcha,
I think
gotcha.
she was with him in high school and she cheated on him during that time. That's what she said,
Mm,
but they weren't married yet. So
I
it
don't
don't really
recall that
count.
one.
But that's what I remember
Allegedly.
about her saying that. But even when she said it, I still believe she was lying and believe that she did cheat on him during the marriage. But
Mm-hmm.
what I mean when I say cheater, I feel like, somebody could have cheated. Yeah, that makes you a cheater because you cheated. But we know there's a difference between that and dudes that habitually cheat on their old ladies and keep saying they're gonna do better and they're gonna fix it, but they don't, and they just keep doing it over and over again. Versus
Mm-hmm.
somebody that had one situation and then after that it was over. I think
Hmm.
there's a bit of a difference in that,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the Ariana stuff. Like to me, that just made it like so much worse. Like, why you gotta use that stupid ass girl against your wife after you hurt your wife with the girl in the first place? Like, it just was
Man.
overkill to me. The way so the fact that he can even compare himself to somebody just because we the same just because they cheated is almost
Mm-hmm.
like, no, no, you're not, Martell. You're way worse. Everybody that cheats isn't a fucking narcissist.
Hmm.
Like, you're malignant about your shit.
Girl,
Like,
all these folks cheaters. Like that's just I just feel like the whole show.
the
Okay.
whole
I feel
show.
like everybody the same.
Yeah,
They all
yeah.
That's
Honestly,
why I
it's
advocate for
giving
open
Vanderpump
relationships.
rules.
okay, Jamie,
Everybody's
I was waiting
cheating.
for that. He was giving Vanderpump.
It is.
Everybody's cheating.
That's why
Let
I
me.
advocate for people, revisiting that situation. Like, everybody shouldn't be in a monogamous relationship, but y'all don't want to hear that shit. As soon as somebody say that, y'all get
That's
mad,
true.
but then you constantly dealing with cheating all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
That usually
Hmm.
means that the person really just can't be in a monogamous relationship. They just
That and then sometimes I feel like majority of times it's not that simple. Majority of times they
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be with that person anyway,
Mm.
or it's something that that person just isn't doing, and they need to get it elsewhere. I
and
think
some people like variety too. Cause I know some people
right.
that just,
Yeah.
I think
they,
there's some
you
people
know,
who definitely
different,
need that, and it makes
strange.
sense. But uh,
Do y'all think marriages would be just like much more happier? Not that it's not being monogamous, but do you think some of them we would have a higher rate of successful marriages if they opened them up?
Yes,
yes, 100%. I do.
absolutely.
Yeah, I do. Hmm. I don't
Mm.
think people would get the. I mean, why would you?
Why would you?
Yeah, that's
Like, for
very
real.
true. Like, what's the
Yeah.
unless it became like abusive or something?
Right.
But
Unless they was just
Hmm.
a bad partner, period. But that's why I say cheating is not the worst thing. Because sometimes that's something that you could absolutely get past, especially if you
that's
with
true.
somebody for a long ass time. I
Mm-hmm.
think people who haven't been in long term relationships sometimes don't get this. And I'm just saying sometimes because I'm sure there are people in long term relationships that do feel that way. But if you've been with somebody like 10 plus years, at some point you may want to just experience something else because that feels like a long time. Doesn't necessarily mean you don't want what you have, just
Mm-hmm.
kind of feel like, damn, can I get a different flavor of ice cream today?
Hmm.
Like, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
come back to my regularly scheduled programming. It happens. So I think that if you with somebody and it's like, we gonna, bad marriage for life, shout out to Will and Jada, then yeah, it don't really, you won't really divorce because you have the space to just do whatever and still have the marriage intact. But people got to be real with themselves, and the truth of the matter is,
Yeah.
people are not going to be real with themselves about that. People are jealous. Men want that, but they don't want to have to give that. And some women, they don't want to have to share their shit, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold that thought. We're gonna talk about marriages in a second, but let me
Okay.
read through these super chats. So, Pretty Girl says, "I don't like Mel being messy." Yes, Jamie, I agree. K-Rup says Mel should leave next season and see what they say.
I
I
agree.
think
They
she
it's gonna
should
say
too.
flatline.
What?
Gonna
Mm,
say
Yeah, I think she
flatline.
should. Um, Oh, what were you
I
gonna say,
wonder,
Jamie?
can I say something? I just
Mm-hmm.
somebody sent me a clip of one of Carlos's videos, and he said something about him having to like analyze some things when it comes to like Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'll have to send it to y'all, but it kind of made me question if he's thinking of taking some people that we're used to seeing on the show off or not
Mm-hmm.
renewing contract. I don't know. It was just something that made me think like, so is Mel gonna return to the show or
Let
not?
me not
Or
renew
are
her
you going
contract
to
before
not
she
have
leave.
Martell? Or yeah, like I don't know. Some about I'm gonna send it to y'all. Some about it had me thinking like, okay, some of the main players he might switch up some stuff in the coming season. I could be wrong, but that's just where my mind went. But I'll send it to y'all
Okay.
when
Okay.
I find it.
I see a question that I want to comment on.
Okay.
Tia
Go ahead.
says, "Isn't that dehumanizing a person as well by saying you need variety like it's candy?" I think y'all like to take things I say that y'all don't like and find a way to use them against me in some manner, even when it doesn't make sense. Because essentially variety is in life regardless. Just as there's variety in food, there's variety in human beings. Every black woman comes in a different variety. Every white person comes in a different, everybody comes in a variety of a person. So variety is not only an example in inanimate objects. So no, I don't think it's dehumanizing for a person to like being with more than one person, especially since most people seem to like being with more than one person on this show.
Mm, mm.
Okay. I think that was a good answer. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just had to switch over. Okay, so next super chat is from Kia Bill Spark. She says, Stormy don't want anyone to judge how she handles stuff or talks, but hold on, how she handles
Mm,
stuff or talks, but judges people if they don't handle things in the streets way because she keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
mm.
It's
yeah.
very much given when keeping it real goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You
Because she
know,
not keeping it real. It's the
she not,
facade.
and
It's the
Mm.
facade of realness.
she just
Yeah.
finished crying for a whole season in the summer. Like she just
Mm-hmm.
finished crying for a whole school year in the summer after, and now you want to come on the show talking
Mm-hmm.
about how real you are. It's just, it's disingenuous. You just want
Yeah,
to be on the show. Like,
I
you
can
just want to be
understand that.
prominent on the show.
I can see that wanting to be prominent. It's gonna do good for her business, but also not wanting to share her real thoughts because she doesn't want to get that lashing or those lashings as Destiny,
She's getting it
which
anyway.
doesn't right, which doesn't hold up, and people don't
Right.
like it.
They been whipping your ass since you got on the show. When you was trying to be calm, they was whipping your ass. When you was trying to be zen, they was whipping your ass. When you was trying to
It's
be
really no
buck,
way around it on
it's
reality
not.
TV.
It's not.
And either you gonna like really give it, or people gonna pull out what they want.
Shout out to Nola Reeves. Check
What's
out
up,
her channel.
Nola?
She says denture grip and hump wig. denture grip and hump wig and said and done the same, if not worse, than Tiffany and Lou. This is how they move to hide their truths. Mm.
Damn,
Denture grip and hump
I'm stuck on the
wig.
denture grip.
Okay. Nafisa's daughter says Martell don't have any vices. He don't smoke, drink, eat fast food. His vices women?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty Girl says it's so bothersome how Mel defends side dish, but constantly Mel
Who?
defends side dish, but
I
constantly
think
Martell?
she meant
disrespects.
Martell.
Oh, okay. Okay. She sent
Yeah.
another super chat to clarify. Okay, thank you. So I guess she's saying it's so bothersome how Martell defends side dish, but constantly disrespects Mel. He must have. He must have a grave of secrets to stay on the side dish good side. Mm.
Mm.
I think she probably didn't play with his booty, but that's just my opinion.
I mean, or he got a video on her.
One or the other.
Mm.
Don't do this for Mel.
Mm.
I'm post a video.
I only say that because dudes be liking to do freaky shit, but they only like to do it with the woman that they feel is the peasant.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. The gutter girl.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, I see that 100%. Like a classy lady like Mel. I don't know. I don't think he would. I mean, who knows? Maybe
Mel
she
ain't finna do
has.
that.
Some
She didn't
people
even
do
want to
eat.
get him head. Why would she go back there?
She claims she did.
Oh, she did. Well, she didn't want to.
I
She
mean,
did it, but
allegedly
she
the
didn't want to
video.
do it.
I think she was doing it, but I think that was just something he was using to complain because she didn't do it as much. I think that there are a lot of us that don't like, it's not our favorite thing to do or
Yeah, I think it's
anything.
a very common.
Yeah. Like black girls in general used to be like, they used to be the stereotype that white girls suck dick because black girls would not. Especially when I was in high school. Like
Yeah.
the black girl was like, I'm a virgin. I ain't doing none of that. The white girl was like, I'm still a virgin. So that how it used
Very.
to be back in the day. But yeah, no, I definitely could see that not being, your gag reflexes being tested, not always being the funnest thing. But
Mm.
I like it as I think more of a competitive spirit.
Competitive. You ain't against nobody but yourself.
Yeah, I'm trying to destroy
Very.
you, nigga. Like I I was trying to destroy you. Like my the effort here is to suck life from your body.
Okay. And so, y'all
About to
got
do it.
any other thoughts on Love and Marriage Hospital?
It's not as ghetto or it's not as bad. Y'all complaining and all of that. Y'all always complaining. I wish people would stop complaining so fucking much. First the show was too
Mhm.
ghetto. Now the show not it's boring and it's not giving enough. Like y'all just always complaining. I wish that they would ignore
Mm.
y'all and just do what they gonna
I'm
do.
enjoying it.
Me too.
Mm.
Mhm.
I mean, I would like for Mel to be a little bit more um aggressive. Like I wish she would have said something to Miss Betty when she cursed her out. I wish that
Yep.
she would have told them that I honestly don't give a fuck about Martell and what the fuck he doing. I
Yep.
wish she would have vocalized that. I wish she would
Mhm.
have, what I mean? Like it would,
Her
I would have
walls is
appreciated.
up.
Yes,
And
and I
it's
know she
like,
don't feel safe.
that's exactly what I said. Your walls is up because whatever you give them, a smile, a laugh, whatever, you feel like it could be used against you. But for that reason, I think you should give them a break. You have to show. Like for yourself.
Either wreck
You
house or
don't have to like
leave.
leave it. You don't have to like leave, but maybe take a season off, maybe.
Yeah,
I
that's what
want
I
her to come in
mean.
a room and
Hmm.
knock everything off the table. I know she's trying to protect her peace, but I want her to, I want her to come in there and knock everything off the fucking table and then collect herself and then walk out and then leave it there. But I want you to come to work and throw some shit around. Like throw your weight around. Like, oh really, Stormy? Is that what you're going to do? Like
Yeah.
I would love for some moments like that. I just
Mhm.
think that this has been extremely traumatic for Mel. Like I think
Yes.
like we kind of don't pay attention to like how in a short period of time so much has probably happened that you don't feel like you can really live up to the role. But that's what we need for you to be an antagonist a little bit to these assholes. Fight a little bit. You're not fighting no more.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. So I told y'all to hold that thought about marriages. Let's talk about this marriage
Girl.
or these few marriages on Bell Collective. Um, I told y'all I did not take notes for this show. I pulled them out my brain, and my top three notes was Latrice is a victim. Letitia signs Elise. She's also a victim. I don't know if it's for play or what, but the way that she jump scared when that man walked through that door, it was giving. And then Tambra feels kind because she thought she was going to get into a marriage. So the first thing I want to discuss is Latrice and Cliff.
Mm.
Latrice and Cliff. I mean, we really can start with him calling her bitch on TV because she showed up to a lounge that he didn't give her permission to go to. Um, the way that he has her isolating her friends and she's doing this in the name of marriage is like, I don't know. What do y'all think about Latrice?
Girl, it's giving, I don't want to fight no more. Like it's giving abusive, it's giving
Mhm.
mind control, it's giving what it's going to take for you to leave this situation. And another thing about this was Josh talking about what happened and all of that, and I know a lot of people felt like what he did was inappropriate, talking about what's going on in her household, but I also
Mhm.
feel like at the end of the day, Latrice, y'all put y'all shit on national television, and then y'all also invited y'all friend to live in y'all house when y'all have other properties that he could have lived on. So I feel like essentially you wanted somebody to see what you were going through. You wanted people to know subconsciously. You want to be free of it, even if you scared to say it to us. So I feel like Josh is doing exactly what Latrice intended for him to do, but
Yep.
it's hard. You go back and forth with yourself. You know you telling them because you want help, but as soon as the help come, you feel bad, like you betrayed your abuser because that's the way
Mm-hmm.
you've been conditioned to feel. So to be protective of him. And I feel bad for her, but I have to look at her as a lost cause until she decides to free herself of it, because otherwise I'll be
Mm-hmm.
too upset watching her agree to this abuse as what she should do, because that's what wives do. I
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
read.
the thing for me. What
I'm gonna
wives
read
do.
before we
yeah.
change the subject because this is
Hmm.
on Love Marriage Huntsville, but I think it has to do with what you just said about wanting somebody to see what's going on.
Hmm.
This comment is talking
Mm,
about Mel. It says, I think Mel is on the show for her protection, like Shorty from Put a Ring on It,
that's a
and
good point.
apparently like Latrice from Bill
That's
Collector.
that's
Mm.
honestly a good point.
Mm.
Maybe people do keep. Honestly, I always thought, like, when everybody was talking about they want Martell off the show, I've never really said or vocalized that I wanted Martell off the show, because I felt like if he was off the show, it would make him spiral even more, and I don't think Mel would be safe at
Mm.
all if he didn't have something to make him feel better about himself, and the show
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
helps him feel better about himself so he doesn't spiral as much as
Mm-hmm.
he could. So I can agree with that.
Yeah. Um, When I was gonna say something about Latrice and her feeling like this is what marriages are and I'm a wife and stuff is given stuck in facade is what it's given. She's definitely stuck in this relationship. The facade is coming from, I feel like a lot of people may have told her a long time ago that this ain't it. This man's too old for you. You shouldn't be in this. I feel like people probably saw his controllingness before they even got married. And she's been in this phase of pretending, just like when he snatched her out of bar, she said she has to smile and put on a good face because people looking up to her. It's also given, I don't want to prove all of the naysayers, the people that really wasn't naysayers but yaysayers because they was right. I don't want to prove them right at all. So she's just carrying on this facade. I feel like we really gonna see the most disrespectful conversation between them on next week's episode, when he pretty much lets her know the same thing Marcel told Tisha, that you were not an equal. It's embarrassing. And then he pretty much said that he made you who you are today.
And then she told that to
Um,
So Gucci. Mm.
mm, that is just so sad. I just I hate that for her. I definitely feel like she's piling on Josh because she's needing an escape, needing
Yeah.
somebody to talk to. But what I don't like is when he calls her card, she don't be wanting to acknowledge it for real. She be wanting to act like everything is fine and she's okay and stuff. And it's like, girl, you not
Yeah, I
happy.
don't think she would have
I
any.
want her to
In
run.
all reality, I don't think she would have any friends if it wasn't for having her employees and being on the show.
Oh
Because the type of
yes.
man that he is, I feel like he isolates her, and she's been with him since she was what, like 20, I think is what she said.
Mm-hmm.
And you young. And so I feel like all the friends you would have had, you probably dropped. And going into adulthood, you ain't got nobody, which is why you lean on people like Josh, right? Josh
Listen,
is his name.
they did an interview and she posted it on her Instagram, and I went and read it because I thought it was incredulous for you to give somebody relationship advice in that abusive relationship that you putting on television. But most of Cliff's advice was to keep people out of their business and to not tell people about, what's going on with you. And if it's in, I don't care if it's your mama or your sister or whoever it is, but if they're against your relationship, you need to X them out of your life. Like basically giving advice on how to isolate somebody so you can control them. And I thought it was so sad because you could hear her argument even in the text. Like it was a written article, y'all. And you could hear the I don't fully agree with what he's saying, but I'm gonna go along with what he's saying from a different standpoint, but I'm gonna make it my own. But I'm still kind of going along with what he's saying because I don't want to upset him. It's sad.
I'm sorry. Pretty girl. Don't send another damn super chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't send another damn super chat. Literally, it's been like 1 minute since this last super chat, and we hadn't got to her question. And she commented and said, didn't answer my question since I left the super chat with a crying face. Girl, the show must go on. I'm sorry. We're It's been 2 minutes. I've been answering the questions. Bonnie's been answering the questions. Jamie been answering the questions. Don't get mad if we take 2 minutes to answer your super chat. My goodness. I can't. Bonnie, I couldn't even hear what you were saying because I just saw that and I'm like, damn, hold on. Did I miss a super chat from 20 minutes ago? It was 2 minutes ago. Ooh, I ain't gonna read it. Thank you for the super chat. Jamie, you got any thoughts?
On which part? Latrice?
What? Yeah, Latrice.
No, I just want her to get out of that relationship. I feel like what we're seeing now is what has come to a head from what the first season. We already saw him for who he was the very first season. Did y'all catch how he told Glenn if a woman don't want to be with you, then he need to just leave or something like that? And I said, I know you're not talking, but you meanwhile you
For
over
the
here
cameras.
bullying your wife, right?
For the
You over here
cameras.
bullying your wife for her to stay type in like, I can't. I don't have nothing to say. I just want her to get the help that she need.
Okay, so Letitia having this apartment lease signed in, what is this lady name? Y'all start with an M.
Marie Monroe.
Thank you so much. In Marie's name, y'all. You had the lady sign the lease. Only for the man to pop up and it looked like a scheme that y'all set up. But whatever. He popped up. You jumped for your life. Like, it's been situation. Well, I will say, yeah, it's been 2 situations with them that has made me feel like their relationship gets physical or you don't feel safe with this man. One was whenever he was following her last season and pulled up when that fucking Dodge Challenger, clocking her ass and said he had people around the city looking for her. And then 2 was whenever they showed up, he was at the birthday party and they was damn near about to tussle, the whisper and threaten each other at the birthday party. It was giving y'all low-key be fighting, right? So the fact that you jumped when this man walked into the room, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you really scared of him. So your friend signed the lease only for you to then tell So Gucci, my bad, I ain't gonna stay here. Let me rip your commission back. You ain't getting paid off of this because I'm gonna stand beside him. What are y'all's thoughts on Letitia and Glenn?
I don't care what nobody's talking about. I really don't. They fake as hell. She's very much with that husband. Everything was giving worse than a Tyler Perry play. All that acting. When you hear them continue to repeat the same thing, especially Glenn, that's because he's trying to figure out the next thing to say. Marie, how you react worse to this woman's husband coming through the door? If Tisha was so afraid of him, I would have expected her to have the biggest reaction. Then her not having no lines and not knowing what to say, trying to improv in the worst way, talk about some, just stop, just give me a second. I said, girl, this shit is so fake. And I don't believe that she's scared of him. I don't believe none of that. I believe that when this show is over, just like she did last season, once this reunion is over, we're going to get new pictures of them together as a family because they're doing this to get their check. They ain't got no issues going on and ain't nobody finna make me believe nothing right now at all. And you finna go get a whole apartment in Marie name? Whew, girl, that don't even make no damn sense. Marie, did you get your son a house in your name? Because I know that baby mama passed away, God rest her soul. So what's going on in your life, Marie? Why are you over here dipping and doing it in everybody else's business? You all the way over here in Tambra business, then you came across town to be over here in Tisha business. What's going on in your business? Are we going to get to that? But that's just what I think. Sorry, I'm over here eating.
Nah, that's all right. You asking good questions. I want to know why her nostrils was 2 different sizes after she paid to get done.
I agree with everything that's been said here today.
I mean, I'm not trying to shame the lady, but I mean,
her nose wasn't big in the first place, so it looks terrible.
It's horrible.
Like, I be looking like, why, bitch? Now you look like you can't breathe, like Tiffany on College Hill. Like, why?
Oh my gosh, y'all! I was watching the show with Ted, and y'all know how I be telling y'all he act like he ain't investing. Like halfway be watching the show, he gonna say to me. He gonna say to me that she looked like Michael Jackson on that episode of Atlanta.
And he's not lying.
Teddy
He's
Perkins.
not lying.
Yes,
and I'm so tired.
Teddy Perkins.
And it's like, Marie, this is no disrespect. I mean, I hate to listen, I'm just gonna be honest, ma'am. Listen, don't get your surgery done in Mississippi no more. Because they're not doing, oh, you might need to go to California or something. I don't know. But the nose and the BBL, girl. You must get Tisha your Dr. Tuco. We see that as well, ma'am. And it's clicking completely to the ground. And I hate it for y'all.
Doing too much.
But y'all do what y'all want to do in these streets, girl. It's y'all body. Congratulations.
Lastly, Tambra, y'all. Tambra was saying that she feel like she was conned into moving in the house with Damon.
I feel like Tambra is conning us. I feel like she's conning us, okay?
That's a fact, too.
I don't think she's ever been living with Damon, okay? I think she went there and threw her clothes around strategically so we will be able to see them in the camera shots.
Correct.
For real?
Right.
Y'all think so?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that whole scene was definitely giving.
Oh, girl, the way something was
into a playset.
Girl, the way someone was thrown on the stairs, it was.
Come on.
I was like, play is giving play.
Let's play house real quick.
It's so annoying because when she get in the confessional, she be all high pitched, and then when she talking to Marie, their voice kind of go down a little bit. When she having a conversation, oh no, I was engaged, but I've never been, no. She said I was never engaged, but I was proposed to. That whole tone of voice changed. I said, what happened to the high pitch, Tambra? You are fake.
Well, I guess we'll keep.
It's a decent season, though.
It is. That's what I was thinking. It is an interesting season.
Also, I think that Tambra's real man is that light-skinned man that she introduced Marie to.
I could see that. That's what they all think.
He seen more her speed. Strong but silent type. Probably got a lot going on, like business-wise, access-wise. Know a lot of people, but stay quiet. Ain't really out there too much. Real chill, laid back. For a personality like hers, that's probably the life she really wants. She don't want to have kids. She don't want to get married. She just want to have her nice man that she could feel safe and get fucked by. She can be at his house sometimes and then she can go back to her house. That's the arrangement she really want, but she probably don't feel like she could live that life because everybody teaches you in Mississippi that you need to get married and have children. But, girl, I guess.
Well, y'all, moving on from reality TV for a hot second, I want to talk to y'all about BET not showing the footage from Jocelyn and Amber Rose getting into the fight. But here, I got a tweet where we can sit here and watch the video. So let me pull that up real quick so we can watch it.
Okay.
Tell me if y'all can hear this whenever I press play.
Stop being so sensitive. And a girl and nigger and all of that stuff. That's when you chose to be black. Because any other time, you make sure you let the people know that you're a Puerto Rican princess. You try to be black, but be black like this. And not like this. You be trying to distance
black with a little razzle dazzle.
A little razzle dazzle. A little sprank.
See, I'll say this. I think what Jocelyn said applies to some situations. I feel like sometimes Jocelyn be ignorant as fuck. I will say that. She be ignorant as fuck, but if you dig deep, it's like, I've seen situations where that apply. Where some people be uncomfortable in their own skin, or they feel like they can't be black in certain spaces, white in certain spaces. And sometimes it's an internal thing, but I don't think that this is the situation with Amber. I think Amber, looking the way she looks, probably has had to battle with that because first glance, especially looking at her childhood pictures, you don't look black. So I can't imagine that they would treat you like you were black. And then for you to show up in white spaces with a black mom, they probably didn't think you were black. So I don't think her situation is like where, it's a you thing where you want to be a white girl. I think that's her reality. But other people, I feel like sometimes it's a them thing. So as far as BET not showing the fight, I feel like shit. I would have never paid for no BET subscription if I knew y'all was gonna be picking and choosing what y'all was gonna show. Exactly. Like I pay for the shit. It don't come on regular network cable. So I feel like I should be able to see it.
Just to be clear,
go ahead.
because I see them commenting. We understand she's Afro Latina. All of us understand that Afro Latina, that Puerto Rican is not a race. Puerto Rican is an ethnicity, most of a nationality. I'm sorry, a nationality. But she is by definition in America and where she's from, black. But and I believe in countries like hers, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, all of those places like that speak Spanish and have like, large racism and colorism issues. Y'all get to decide whether y'all want to call yourselves black or not. And y'all simply identify black as being African American, not being black as in dark complected, melanated people.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there's a lot of confusion with that. But when she says she chose it, it's because she knew at one point if she decided to depict herself a certain way as Puerto Rican exclusively, she would never have to identify herself as black, which is why she calls herself the Puerto Rican princess, because she knows that if she were to keep straightening her hair a certain way or only speaking Spanish or only being around certain people, then she would only be seen as Puerto Rican. She wouldn't really be seen as black in Puerto Rican spaces, not really.
That's like Zoe
um
Saldana.
Say that again.
Like Zoe Saldana, right?
Yes.
Zoe Saldana has always been somebody who I've never thought of as black because
Mm-hmm.
she's never came out to. I don't believe she's come out to identify as black. I remember headlines seeing her, cling to her Hispanic. I don't know where she's from, but that heritage and not claiming to be black. So that's somebody who, like, I never consider to be black. Jocelyn chose to be. I want them. I want everybody watching to keep in mind she said chose to be black. So she may have not always identified with being black, but that was something that she ultimately chose. And I want to know when, because I feel like when we first met her on Love and Hip Hop, um, I never heard her speak so much about being black until being on this show.
Right.
And if I think back, I remember when I was watching Jocelyn's Cabaret last year, and it was the black girl, the African American girl on the show who she was arguing with, and she said, "Don't call me a nigga," and Jocelyn went up to her face and said, "Nigga," and I felt some type of way about that because the way that Jocelyn said it to her, it was intended to be offensive. So now we know that you're black, but it just made me uncomfortable. I don't know how long she's been claiming to be black, but whatever.
When it benefits her since her show got pulled, she been trying to switch up a few things. And that's when she did it.
Yeah, I don't think she did on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I don't remember her talking about being black on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Never.
Yeah. But thoughts on BET not showing the fight?
That was lame. Why y'all used it for promo and then get to this place and say that you want to protect Alabama State and also protect the parties involved? Like, get the fuck out of here. I wonder who made that decision. Because y'all did a lot of promoting of that situation. And I'm just like, I mean, fights happen at universities. Like, it is what it is. Like,
Why y'all in the comments being so difficult? Okay, so do we gotta be like school for y'all? Okay, essentially there's only one race, the human race. White people created white versus black as a race, and then they added in Asian, Hispanic, and all those other things to be considered as races thereafter. But essentially, race was only created so that white people would be able to create differentiation between them and black people. Okay, but it's all about where you're from. Now, essentially, most of us that are melanated people have the same experience, whether our people are from America or from Africa, because essentially all of the countries used to be one plate. They used to all be connected at one point. That's why when you look at them, they look like they've been broken off, because they have, which is why Africa is the cradle of civilization and where everybody was at before they decided to venture out to different places. So when you tell us that you're indigenous American and all of this other shit, essentially you don't know that for a fact, because there were people from Africa that traveled to the Americas years before colonization, and they stayed here. So yeah, I think a lot of y'all just always trying to separate yourselves from being considered black, when really it just means melanated. Like,
Well, okay. Y'all good on that? I hope they dropped that
I'm good on
raw
it.
cut somewhere. Somebody posted shit. Damn. Anywhere. Y'all, it's time to get into y'all's other favorite show, which is Real Housewives of Atlanta. But before we get into it, do us a favor and like the video. It's 1,000 of y'all in here. All right, y'all. So Real Housewives of Atlanta came on Sunday, like it always do. In my Jocelyn voice. Anyway, came on Sunday, and a lot of people had stuff to say about the ratings the week prior. It was Memorial Day weekend, and people haven't really been feeling the show like that. Y'all, I think we on episode, what is this, 4 maybe at this point, 4 or 5?
Yeah, 5.
5, and I didn't really feel like the show was that bad. But when I watched this episode, I was like, I can finally put my finger on it. And for me, I'm gonna tell y'all, it's Marlo fucking Hampton that's ruining my experience on Sunday nights. I will say that. I feel like the arguments and the beef is just reaching to a whole new level. It's a whole new level of reach to where, 2 plus 2 don't even equal 4 no more. Like, it don't make sense why the ladies are on here trying to argue. When I say the ladies, I'm talking about Courtney, somebody random, twice removed cousin who they found and put on this show, and Marlo talking about this shooting. So in regards to just like the state of the show, I even heard people making up rumors that Candy and Kenya weren't going to return. That would be a dumb move on the franchise part if they did that, ask them not to come back. But what's y'all overall thoughts on just like how the show been going? People talking about ratings from week to week and just how you been feeling about it.
I feel like the show is fine. I think the last episode was just the one for me that I wasn't that into. It just really fell flat. It was just like a wasted, just like that trip was wasted. It was a wasted episode. They spent so much time doing absolutely nothing while in the hotel. Like, it was just boring. And then Candy bringing, coming back with the Mama Joyce stuff. It's kind of giving, okay, I'm past Mama Joyce. Like, she gonna do what she want to do. That's how she is. Like, why are we bringing this back 5 years later if her still not liking Todd? Because here's my thing: the show had been filming before BravoCon, so was there not a storyline or something going on as to why we decided to pick up what Miss Mama Joyce said and make that such a main thing of Candy's storyline thus far? Like, I mean, I ain't really feeling that. Yeah, like, it was just flat. It just wasn't given like nothing at all. Like, I don't know what it was, but I just wasn't interested.
I was entertained somewhat by, of course, all of the antics, but I was bored essentially. Like, Kenya wasn't, really being herself because she's around a whole bunch of people she don't like. Mayetta is not a strong enough personality to really make a splash like that, even though I like her. Sonya, Marlo, Sheree, Courtney annoy me. So, and they're not really giving anything either. And a lot of the things that they do and say seem disingenuous, like, a plot we've all come up with. So we have to tote the party line. So they're not really acting organically. They're acting in alliance with their alliances. You know what I'm saying? So it just gives fake. Marlo is doing too much for her peach yet again, and I feel like it's degrading the show. And I almost feel like they're probably focusing heavily on the shit with Marlo because they think that's more entertaining than they are on other things. I also feel like this cast of women has probably gotten so settled in their lives that it may be time for more people, new people, or a different production, because I feel like Sonya has shit going on, Drew has shit going on, but we're not seeing or talking about it.
Right. Right. I don't know. I have to agree.
Yeah, I agree with this comment. They should have scrapped the episode or made it a blooper, because I don't see why the ladies didn't just go to the game anyway.
Right. Like, why not? I mean, I know Kenya was sick, but like, we didn't really see Kenya at all in this episode outside of her being in the hospital, laying down, being in the hospital, leaving. It was just off.
I think you literally summed up the entire episode, Bondi. Whenever you said that Monyetta, not enough to make a splash, Marlo doing, I think you literally like summed it up. Yeah, this episode was a waste, tragically.
Oh, but wait. One thing though, tell her that Sheree ain't shit is her running to defend Marlo with that door situation when it was obvious Marlo tried to slam that door on Mayetta.
Mm-hmm.
That was killing me softly.
I wanted to show y'all a picture that I just saw. My sister just sent it to me, and I wanted to ask y'all, who is this woman? Take your guess. Let me pull this picture down real quick. Who is this?
Yo, I unfollowed Sheree ass today because of this photo. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I unfollowed the fuck out of her today when I saw that shit. It was
That
the
face
second
tune is
photo,
terrible.
and I
No, this is
said,
filler.
"We not finna." No, 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 no. That's giving a app. I was
You
like,
think
and
so?
I think she has filler, yes, but this right
Bitch,
here was
that's
giving an app.
AI.
And
That's
I
AI.
said,
I
we
said,
not
who
finna
the
do
fuck?
this. We not. I said, bitch, you're not finna come up here with a whole new face. Like every post, you get a bit extreme, and this is where I tap the fuck out. So
Bit
I
extreme.
unfollowed her ass. I
She
couldn't take it no
said,
more.
she said on Facetune, blend the faces of give me 10%, give me 20% Drew Sidora and 80% Sheree Whitfield 2023. give me that much.
Shit look like an
I was like,
avatar.
who is this? Who is
It was this
this?
post that I saw right there, and I said the other ladies' faces look normal. We know, like I feel like that's what they look like.
Yeah,
But
that's a
you,
new filler, brand new filler. It hasn't even settled in
Yes.
yet. She look
it's giving
crazy as
new nose
hell.
and
I mean, look at the
everything.
Like, bitch, you don't
lips.
even look like the same person.
Yeah, I tapped
My
out.
sister said
Are
she
her
damn near
teeth
looked
the
like
same?
Phaedra. Oh
Oh, let's not
no.
even get into Phaedra.
It's not giving Phaedra. It's giving. I don't know who this is. Um,
Amara, not Amara. What was Peter Gunn's other old lady?
Tara.
Tara,
Tyra and Amina. Amina.
Amina. It's Amina. Yep, with the Amina's teeth.
Mm-mm.
Yes, his wife.
Erica Mena.
No, I cannot.
Mm-mm.
But I was a bit disturbed. I mean, you should have had your makeup artist carry the foundation down to your breast. It's not.
Them titties
It's
look hard as a rock.
everything is looking fresh.
First of all, that don't even look like her. The closer you get to it, the less. Like, where did Sheree's face go? That's not Sheree, y'all. That's the avatar. Get out of here. Not LeBron wife.
Mm-mm.
I
Mm-mm.
mean, y'all, if you even look at her icon, and you can barely see it, she don't even look like the damn icon.
That's
You don't
what
even
I'm
look like the
saying.
profile pic. You said you unfollowed her because
I
of
sure
this,
did.
Jay.
I did. I'm
You
not
said
even
I'm
gonna
done
lie.
fucking with
Oh,
her
that
for
I
real.
did. I,
Delusion.
mhm. It was that post right before we got on our thing on the show. I said, "Oh, I gotta go."
You said fuck it. In the comments is killing me. Is
Mm.
this Sheree or Drusadora? Harpo, who this woman? They said you look completely different. Stop the work on your face. Who face, girl? You acting like a Kardashian now. Chloe, to be exact. What in a Chloe Kardashian did you do? Mm-mm. And there goes Tamika. Somebody, I don't know who that is, talking about beauty. Yeah, I cannot. So,
Mm-mm.
y'all got any other comments on Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Do better.
Yeah,
Do
I
better
think
next
they
episode for
should.
us, please.
They absolutely should give us something to talk about. Um, oh goodness, I hate that this is the damn segue unintentionally. It did not mean to be the segue, but we go on from talking about this to talking about the tragic passing
Oh wow.
of Miss Jackie O. Jacqueline Smith. She was the longtime partner of DC Young Fly. She went in to get plastic surgery at the end of last month, where she was doing a collaborated situation with a doctor who was not a board certified plastic surgeon. He was just a doctor. And I believe she was getting a mommy makeover. He posted her on their Instagram, and then shortly after that, she passed. She was found in a hotel room unresponsive. Later on, died at the hospital.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what happened, and the internet flooded um with posts talking about her passing. Now, my issue is this. The one thing that I did not like was the amount of black men that I saw commenting and trying to make PSAs off of this lady's death to tell black women what to do with their bodies. For one, I think a lot of people should reconsider surgery before they decide to get it. It's always some type of risk that comes with it, but your decision is your decision. What I don't like is for black men to be like, black women, you don't need to do this. When in reality, we're not gonna act like men don't create the beauty standards. Like men have preferences and they influence a lot of the ideas that women have about themselves. So to see her pass and because she's beautiful, them go speak on and tell women what to do and what not to do, that to me was annoying as fuck. Like my goodness. Like you better off not saying nothing. So I wanted to ask y'all like what y'all seen on social media today, what y'all thought about it, because this ain't the first time we've been seeing somebody pass from cosmetic surgery.
I don't think I've seen like some of the PSAs from people, but I do think the situation has been pretty sad. That's really
Yeah,
it, you know.
especially for her babies.
Absolutely. And then you just had a baby that's under a year. That's rough. That
I
baby won't
hate
even
that.
get a chance to like really connect or remember you or anything. Like that shit really, really sad.
Well, y'all know I made everybody mad today. But at the beginning of this, I took the standpoint of I'm always trying to talk y'all out of doing surgeries because I feel like they're so unsafe and it's not worth it. And I felt like everybody's upset behind this young woman to me seemed like, the halo effect, where because someone is beautiful or because you see them as a preference, you view what they've done differently than you would if they were not as light skinned or not as biracial or not as beautiful. If she didn't have this biracial pretty privilege, I think the response to her death would have been somewhat different. And I definitely noticed that with the people who were posting the day of, like it just kind of felt like overload in a way that I had not seen recently. And there had been other women who had died because of these, exact type of things. But we'll continue on, because there's more to that they were mad at me about. But I am sad that this happened to her. I do have to question and have conversation about the surgery culture on social media and just in the world right now. I think it's too much. And I've been saying that for a while because I think that people really care more about what their bodies look like than if their bodies are healthy. A lot of them can't even afford the upkeep of these surgeries, but they see that they are able to get them, so they go and get them. And you look crazy a lot of the times. Like, you know, it's just not worth it to me to almost die for a fad, basically, because it's a fucking fad. Like, you can say what you want, but the body type that everybody is getting surgery to look like wasn't the body type that everybody was trying to get in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of feel like it's a fad, and I think it's better to more, care more about the health of your own body than to be trying to look like other people on social media.
Right. Because I don't be understanding like what are you gaining when you look
Yeah,
like
it's a sad
everybody else?
situation.
Like, what's the gain? You was gonna get ain't shit NIGGAs with the natural body and afterwards. I'm confused. I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
I
it's
just
just
don't
been like a
understand.
whole trend of what I think is dangerous is the trend of celebrities collaborating for plastic surgeries. I
Yes.
And
think
the gag
they
be these people don't even be celebs. They just be influencers.
Because roly
You
yes.
poly
see them
shit
all.
was disgusting.
Yeah, and Nene did it last year too. Remember, she collabed.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
she
ain't
did.
see
I
it though.
forgot about that.
We ain't see it, but
Did we?
yeah.
I think we did.
No, we saw
No, we
like the
saw her go in the
collabs,
hospital and stuff. We
but we
saw.
ain't see no before and afters, right?
Oh, no, 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 no. I think they did give us a snippet of them actually doing work on her body.
Okay.
And yeah, and she showed the afters, and she was showing when she was in bandages and stuff like that too.
Yeah, but I don't think I ever saw a real difference. That's why I was like, girl, did you get surgery or did you just pretend
I
that you
didn't see
got
a
surgery?
difference either.
I didn't see a
Yeah.
difference. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think that's extremely, I think that's detrimental. I'm like, every day I fear, like, literally what social media is doing to the generation under us, people who
Mm-hmm.
don't really have the experience of, like, not living without social media. Like, they could be influenced in a way that's just, ooh, I don't like that. Um,
Growing up with people that celebrated how people's bodies look naturally, that was another thing. Like when we was growing up in the early 2000s and the 90s, even if having a big butt was the thing, it was people who naturally had big butts. It
Right.
right.
wasn't let's go get surgery that might kill us so we can have one. Like
But
the
we can.
desperation of that is so different. I also remember when I was growing up as black women, we used to find pride in the fact that we didn't have to have surgery. That was an older white woman's thing to have to go and get work done to yourself excessively
Right.
because you were aging and it was showing. You know, my mama looked like she was in her 30s until she was in her 50s.
mhm.
So, you know, when we were growing up, the black women we looked up to didn't do those things to themselves. And even in the media, they did them so lightly that we didn't even notice the shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and it'd be a whole secret. Did she get her breast done? Go get
Yes.
her breast done to a damn C
Right.
cup. Did she get a boob job? It wouldn't say a thing. But while we're talking about the dangers of that, and we're gonna keep on the same pace, recently Alonzo Arnold posted literally like the day after people were talking about the passing of Jackie O, posted his collab. So I want y'all to see the video from that.
Guess what? I'm getting surgery, get my body done. I'm getting my chin done and a BBL with those plastic surgery here in Atlanta. And I'm gonna go live to show y'all the process. So make sure you tune in. You know, it's summertime and I gained all this weight and I need to transfer from my motherfucking checking to my savings. So that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna, you know, enhance the bad bitch. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. It's going down. Mwah. Bye.
Is that the way Alonzo always sounded?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I always
Okay.
sounded and looked like Marlo. Well, not sounded like Marlo, but definitely always looked like Marlo.
I know I thought that voice was
They do
deeper
look
back when I
alike. I
used
didn't
to
think about that.
see Alonzo on video or makeup tutorials back in the day. I feel like the voice was
Well, Alonzo
deeper.
also back in the day used to be mad when people said he looked feminine or yeah, Alonzo, yeah, which is why
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting. Um yeah, I don't know. So I just think that the timing of the post is
Moniece too.
weird.
You saw Moniece, right?
No.
Moniece was
No.
supposed to be getting surgery, but she canceled hers.
I know
Well,
that's
that's
real.
logic.
She don't need
I
that.
mean, I would have been if I was Alonzo. I'd be laying on the table, blood pressure through the fucking roof. Ain't no way I could lay down on somebody's table and get that done, knowing that she just passed 32 years old, young.
Right.
It don't make no
And then
sense. And
promote it. Ooh.
period, promoted. My thing is like, people commented and said the timing of this is weird, right? Alonzo responds and said, "I've had this surgery planned for 3 months, but why not? Why? What's in these contracts? Like, what I feel like we gonna see if Jackie O's pass and don't do nothing, what I think is gonna change is the people who do surgery for promo are probably gonna be asked to post their stuff later on. Cause it's so weird to me that they posting their stuff in real time. Why couldn't Alonzo have a deal to where maybe not the day after the internet is talking about death from plastic surgery, maybe 3 months after when you done healed, you posting the content and telling everybody what you went through. I think that's what they gonna end up doing in the future, especially so they won't be in situations to where you posting Miss Jackie O on a Tuesday and then on a Wednesday because she passed away, you deleting her off your Instagram.
Yikes. I feel like nothing gonna change. I think
I hate
everything
it.
gonna stay the same. People going this is a moment for people. It's kind of it reminds me of like when we get in an uproar about certain social issues and then let a week or two go by, we be back on the bullshit. Like that's what it gives. I do
You
hope
do.
that some people probably cancel their appointments and then like follow through with it, and just gonna work with what they got. But
I think
I don't
most
think
of
a
you
whole lot
regular
gonna
bitches need
change.
to stop. I think you regular bitches need to stop. Like I'm gonna just tell y'all, like all of y'all, I just want to feel good about myself. You lying. You're lying. I'm gonna tell you why I know you lying. Because my experience of the women who normally go and get these surgeries in regular life are in their 40s and 50s. Like they're older people who can afford to get the surgery and they want to keep up with these young women, and I hate it for them because I feel like, first of all, bitch, you getting older. Second of all, you was hot shit before this was a thing. So for you now to go and show your lack of self-esteem by feeling like it's okay to put your life at risk for a fad that wasn't even cool when you was in your 20s, y'all be bothering me. And she 32, so she young. She don't, I feel like that girl may not have really known any better. She allowed the pressure of being a wild and out girl, getting her money through social media and being beautiful. When you really put all of your eggs in that basket, it stresses you out to keep a certain standard of beauty that is really unattainable. And I feel like after having 3 children, she probably felt like, I need to hurry up and bounce back because this is my money. And the truth of the matter is, you really can't put that type of pressure on your body. It take a long time to, get back to normal after having kids. And she, I think, took that risk and it just wasn't worth it. And she was already so beautiful, just like Alonzo. Like, you don't even need surgery. All you need to do is go get your ass in the fucking gym and do some weight training for a good 3 months and you'll be good. Like, why go and do that type of damage to your body and then a downtime after? Like, it just don't seem
Right.
worth it.
I saw somebody in the comments say regular women take the cheap route. And I think that's true, but also keep in mind, just because these rich women have access doesn't mean that they safe. Like y'all, we keep forgetting that Kanye West mama went to go get work done and I'm sorry, she died. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
In the
Yes.
surgery. She's
mm.
not the only one. I think it's just people we don't really hear about. So I mean, I really don't think it's an age limit or anything,
Then somebody with Usher,
to it
something happened?
or the level. I
One
don't
of
think
Usher
so.
wives or something?
Mm-mm.
No? Oh,
Mm-mm.
okay.
Not that I.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
I
I
mean,
was
the
thinking
oldest
of
wife I
him.
think he had was Tamika, right? I don't think Tamika's
Yes.
had.
He was
No, her
with
son
Grace too.
died, but I
Grace
mean,
was older.
she didn't have any surgery that I know of.
Okay, I'm trying to remember who else. But I know somebody else has had like a bad surgery story, you know.
You
Hmm.
know what?
Somebody
A
said
lot
ex
of us.
Usher ex-wife. Somebody else said that.
Okay,
Oh,
Oh,
they
I
so
said
don't
all
remember
right.
Tamika.
her. I don't
Oh,
remember. Oh,
Tamika. I never
she.
heard. I
Oh,
didn't
she
know
Okay.
that.
almost died. Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay.
But I see
I
a
thought
lot
I
of
was
people in
tripping.
the comments saying, exercise, get your body right, work out, this and that. And here's my thing: that everybody not gonna do this shit. But what you can work on doing is just finding somebody that's gonna rock with who you are for who you are. And somebody that's
Mm-hmm.
just gonna build up what you already got going on with yourself and remind you that you fine just the way that you are. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if
And
you want
not
to work out, do your
invasive.
thing. But sometimes I feel like people go get this work done for other people and just
Yes.
find your people.
Find somebody
Yeah.
to accept your body for where it is. Because at the end of the day, ain't nothing like having a nigga that love you whether you fat or in shape. Like, I'ma
Mm,
just keep it a buck. Like, and if
yeah.
you don't love me if you don't love me when I'm fat, you can't fuck me when I'm in shape. Go to hell.
Mm.
But what? Damn, Jamie, you just said something that made me want to say something, and I forgot that fast.
About
Damn.
finding your people. Everybody ain't gonna work out.
No, something else about the surgery not working out.
Oh, talking about
But even
Kanye
if you
West
got
mama.
money, if you got money, the surgery don't
Oh
guarantee it.
yes,
Hmm.
it really doesn't. Like a lot of the time, because it's about all of the other factors that go into it. But damn, I
Hmm.
forgot what I wanted to add to that because you said something and I was like, damn, I want that, but I forgot. I'll get it again. Don't worry about it.
Let me read this. Thank you for the super
Oh,
chat,
oh,
Rose. Oh, go ahead, buddy.
non-invasive.
Oh,
Non-invasive.
yeah.
That's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
There are other things that you can do that aren't invasive. Like one of my homegirls does cavitation and freezing the fat cells. And there's a
Hmm.
whole bunch of
Oh,
like,
yeah.
different, electrolysis things that they do now.
Hmm.
Like there are a whole bunch of other things that you can do to get rid of fat and to help you along that process of looking a certain way without cutting into your body, y'all. To me, like I've just seen pain when they do the tummy tucks or they, pulling the fat out of your body. And y'all, that shit looks so terrible. I'm like, you really letting them beat the insides of your body up so you can look a certain way. And then after the surgery, that shit be all bruised and fucked up. And I just think
Yeah.
you weakening your shit. Like in my mind, you weakening the, you know what I'm saying, the
Immune
sanctity of
system.
all your immune system, the sanctity of your muscles, all of that shit, because all of that has to grow back together. And sometimes when they do damage to it, it don't grow back right once it's been fucked with. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's a lot, and as somebody that has had moments of being sick for real, having to have surgery to, be well, and then the time off recovering and feeling bad because I can't do anything. Like I just kind of in my mind, I will if I care that much about my body to obsess about it, I'd rather just work out than to go and get these surgeries because you don't know what's gonna happen. And y'all forget a lot of these hoes then got addicted to them pills after the fact
Oh, I
because
forgot
they
about
have to
that.
take the pain pills.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
K Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
Nicki Minaj, all have allegedly had pill problems because they get a lot of surgery and they get a lot of prescription pills to deal with the pain. So I
Mm-hmm.
just think it's so
Mm-hmm.
many factors involved for the way your body looks. It just don't seem worth it to me.
And
Yeah, I
then the working
blame
out
so many
aspect
people.
is good for your mental health. That's the thing. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
people get the surgeries. They say it's gonna help with their confidence. It do for a little bit, but the insecurities that you had before, it's gonna manifest into something else. So I
It
think
sure
it's
is.
it's
That's
a
why
mental
people
thing
stay
too.
getting all these different surgeries because, like you said, it manifests to, oh, I want to get this done. I don't like this. Oh, I want to do that. I don't like this. I want to, yeah. So definitely, somebody
Mm-hmm.
said cool sculpting is not good. Don't do
I
that.
saw that. I wanted to know. I
Okay.
never heard that.
Me
Interesting.
I
neither.
never heard
Don't know
that
about that.
either.
Mm.
But another thing about the weightlifting, that is so true, y'all. Let me tell y'all something, baby. Y'all know I've been doing a lot of weight training lately. And leg day is always a good night for Lyric. Like, I'm just saying, like, leg day, you might be sore, but the way that shit be having your blood running down there, like, I just kind of feel like working out is really good for your body in a whole bunch of
Mm-hmm.
different ways. But the blood running and circulating through your body, making your metabolism faster, but also making orgasms easier to get. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Like that weightlifting, child, back to
That's what
back to
they
back
say.
to back to back. Like it's a thing. Like,
Yeah.
okay, nigga had to get his boots and his coat. Okay, he said that himself. He had to get his boots and
Ooh,
his coat. So I'm just kind of letting y'all know y'all are missing out on some of the benefits of this shit. Okay,
mm.
that's all.
Mm.
That's all. That's all.
Rose sent a super chat. Thank you. It says this should be a PSA for unlicensed doctors. It's
Mm-hmm.
heartbreaking that Jackie O was found in a hotel room. It really is. I was thinking that
Right.
the commodification of your body to the point to where you have a plastic surgery sponsor is wild. They still Photoshop though.
And do. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they really do.
And
Mm,
then Nola Reeds, thank you, says, "Baby, you better love my rose in all these styles."
for sure.
Okay, say your light and all, motherfucker.
All y'all
Hmm.
people.
So on the heels of that, or the ending of that, people had lots of comments about B Simone making a post. B Simone was one of the best friends of Jacqueline Smith. And in her close friend story, I think it was 2 days ago, she said, "If you're not on my close friends, you're not going to see much of my life during this time. Close friends, I love you, dot, dot, dot. Thank you for being a safe space." And then she posted a link for you to pay $10 a month to join her close friends list. Now, I want to know y'all's thoughts. A lot of people, I seen split opinions on this, but what are y'all thoughts on B Simone posting the subscription content and seeing if people want to join her close friends list?
I felt no ways. I felt no ways. This is something B Simone has been doing for 2 years. She never said Jackie's name or aligned this message with Jackie. People took what it was that they wanted to take from it and go, crazy about it. And then some part of me is like, even if she is charging out y'all to grieve, to see her grieve, then that's on her. You ain't got to pay for it if you don't want to pay for it. Period. Sometimes I think a lot of people feel like they obligated to a person's life because they're a celebrity or a public figure, and she ain't got to give you that. She been doing what she been doing like she always has. So I don't really understand what the uproar was about. Y'all saw a few tweets of what people tried to make her message about, and then y'all created, you know, issue off of that instead of looking at it for yourself. So I mean, I didn't understand the uproar. I feel like y'all was more mad about what B Simone said than what Azalea Banks was talking about.
Nah, I don't agree with that. They was kind of equally as mad.
I
It
think
was
people
giving
was more
equal.
mad about
When
Azalea
I was
Oh,
looking
Banks.
at
it
the
is.
comments, I was like, "Ooh, I'm not seeing the uproar. I'm not really seeing y'all. Come on,
Child, they was
it,
eating the
it's
fuck out of
it's
Azalea
like
in the body
2,000
too.
comments under Azalea, but it's giving about 5,000 under B Simone. What's the going
Really?
on?
That's funny. I don't know. To me
I don't know
personally,
what
I
it is now.
understand. I understand me personally. I'm gonna say, and I explained it earlier. Like, if you have membership, you normally kind of know that the people in your membership aren't as crazy. Those are
Right.
people that are a little bit more sane. Those are people that have disposable income. Those are people that you can kind of share some of your information with, and they won't like be as judgy. They won't troll you. Because people that spend money on content like this, it's just the truth of the matter. Like, people that troll don't spend money on content like that. They just don't.
Hmm.
Because they like to troll for fun. So they just like to go to different places and troll all day. So I feel like when people have memberships, it's usually a safe space for them. So when she says, if you're not on my close friends, you're not going to see much of my life during this time, it means I'm going through it right now and I'm not going to be creating content as much, but I'll be posting to my close friends because those people make me feel good and I like to talk to them when I'm not feeling good. Because to me, it's the same thing. Like, for my members, they know more about my life than everybody else. We talk sometimes. Some shit will happen and I'll just be in there, late one night and start talking to them because I feel more comfortable. So if I'm going through something or I need more time off, I might promote my memberships and my stories because I need time off. And if I'm going to be talking to people, I'd rather talk to people that will pay for my content because those people normally are more of a safe space. So yeah, I get where she's coming from with it. It's not always about making money off stuff. It's just y'all don't understand the way social media is. People that make money from their life on social media, they're so used to monetizing everything. That's just how it is, and it is how they make their money. So I feel like people took this and ran with it just because of the timing. But I also feel like if she's somebody that's really hurt by her friend's passing, like, bitch, I don't want to get on YouTube, I don't want to do my podcast right now, I need a few weeks off, and while I'm
That's what I was
off,
gonna say.
I'm gonna talk to my members and y'all can throw a little extra money my way so I can afford to take the break that I need to take. Like, that's really what it's about. But
So for me, I was disgusted at the time of the post, to be 100%.
Hmm.
But I do think y'all brought up some good points. To Jamie's point, I have seen B Simone post this before. Like, before she went on vacation, she's posted the link for people to pay to join. The other thing that you mentioned, Jamie, was that the I tried to be very intentional and not say pay to see her grieve, because that's been the trending topic.
Hmm.
Everybody's been saying B Simone is charging people to see her grieve. So I was like, let me go look at her story to see if that's what she said. And she never said that. She never said pay to see me grieve during this time. She said, you won't be seeing much of my life during this time. Close friends, I love you. Thank you for being a safe space. To Bondi's point, your close friends or, your members got a little more sense. But for me, I would not want anybody new in that space, because the timing of this encourages people who never really were a fan of you to
Mm.
pay.
that's a
Hmm.
good
So
point.
the people who naturally weren't already gravitating towards you, they're paying you and you know that. But you're willing to do that in return for some money. That's weird. And
Hmm.
I also think she was very strategic not to say the word grieve, but she also knows that all this additional traffic is coming to her Instagram page
Exactly. You gotta
because people know
capitalize
that
off
she's
it.
grieving. So
Yeah.
I was quite disgusted that she made the post, because honestly, if one of my best friends died, like literally the bond that they had in the way that you posted, I wouldn't even get on social media to be thinking of creating an advertisement. This was literally 2 days after the girl had passed, maybe three max.
Yeah.
I would be in my own cocoon and my close friends would be my friends in real life.
Yeah.
So I think that this was really weird. Now, as far as her doing this when it comes to like her vacations and stuff like that, yeah, girl, make your money. But this, I was like, I'm not fucking with it. And I'm not paying for it. So I was like,
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, y'all are inclined to feel however you want to feel about it. I just feel like when people make their money like this, sometimes the line is blurred, and where you have a sense of separating money and making money from your life, people who make money off their life don't always understand that line. They don't always have that line because every moment is used in some way to make money. When I was talking about it earlier, I used Julesy as an example. Y'all know Julesy's another YouTuber content creator. She does really great content.
Yeah, I
She
like
had a
her.
baby. She had a baby. And her video about her getting pregnant and having a baby was getting more, views than some of her commentary on regular subjects.
Mm-hmm.
So it made me, it makes you realize. I mean, even for me, for instance, I could post one of my workout videos with just me by itself. It might get a lot of views depending on what time of the day and if YouTube feel like, Instagram feel like shadow banning me or not. But let me post something with me and my husband, with me, showing that me and this person are together in real life. Y'all gonna watch that and like that way more than you would something of just me by myself that you might perceive more as advertisement versus something that seems like it's a window into my life with me and my husband. So I feel like people essentially like to see and pay for people's personal lives in a way that makes content creators feel like they need to share in order to capitalize off these moments, because otherwise they're not making any money and they still got to live. You know what I'm saying? So I just think sometimes the line is blurred in these, for content creators that make money off their life.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cause you gotta think
Well,
for the moments when you down. That's really what I be thinking about. Like you have like the moments where you about to hit big, or you gonna get a lot of traffic. You have to advertise at those moments because otherwise you're gonna miss out on that influx of people. And like I said, if she wants to take some time off, she's gonna need the extra money for the work that she's not doing.
yeah, I would have been more sad. I mean, it's not what I prefer, but if I were in this situation, it would have made more sense for me to post the link to purchase a book or something. Just the ominous
Girl, we can't
text.
buy none of her books.
Nah,
She
but
stole them. But
this
yeah, no, I feel
ominous
y'all. She's
ass
opportunistic.
text. You're not gonna be in my life during this time. Thank you for being safe. Says prayer hand. That's ominous as fuck, and I
It
feel like
is.
it. She knew what she was talking about. Um, but yeah,
I
we
just mean that
saw
doesn't mean that she not really
grieving.
mourning. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think she is, but I
Yeah,
think
I
she's
feel
truly
you.
grieving. People have different.
Hmm.
I mean, everybody different.
Yeah.
So,
And we know B
mm.
Simone, she ain't all the way right. We know.
Yeah. You mentioned Azalea. Do y'all want to share y'all's thoughts on it? So I know we running over time,
I
but
don't care. I want to talk about it. So don't feel
okay.
rushed for me.
Okay, cool. So, following this story, y'all, Azalea Banks was trending because she posted on her Instagram page a message basically to DC Young Fly. I'll go ahead and read it. She said, "Damn, DC Young Fly spent years disguising his own deeply rooted hatred of self as jokes pointing at women's beauty, projecting his own feelings about his own ugliness onto women, perfectly secure in their own skin." She said, "Say what you want about my tears. They were pure tears of rage and not at all a sign of weakness because in the end, I won. I'm happy I cried and moved on." Um, damn, where's it at? I'm happy I cried and move on. There we go. That Jackie O girl must have been so deeply insecure about herself. And the nerve of DC to call such a gorgeous woman as Azalea Banks ugly on national television while a bunch of black people laughed. And I lost the most important frame. But basically, she said that um, Jackie O died on her 32nd birthday on May 31st in Miami, Florida. And basically, that all the numbers and everything was intentional and it lined up. Um, and that she thinks that it's part of her revenge. I'm going to share the screen because I got it pulled up now.
That's the part about it I didn't like. That this
Yeah.
woman's death was a part of your revenge, because essentially she wasn't lying about how, you know, and I'm not saying DC Young Fly specifically, but the whole. I mean, come on now. We gonna act like we didn't grow up in a society of people picking women's bodies apart. I'm always talking about how I can't stand the way they pick Lizzo apart, but nobody says anything
Yes.
about DJ Khaled and Rick Ross titties being on social media every time. You know, they out. I don't want to see your titties, sir. But we still be seeing them. That shit gross to me. But y'all still put it on blast, and nobody makes these niggas feel bad about it. So I often feel like they pick women's bodies apart as entertainment and as fun. And at this point, as we're getting older, I feel like it's having more detrimental results. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Azalea had a point to what she was saying, but she was conflating issues. And I feel like she needs to get over what happened at Wild 'N Out. You are mad at
Thank you for
yourself.
saying where it happened, because I'm like,
Yes.
girl, you was on Wild and Out,
She mad
and
because she didn't do a
your
good job. She was supposed to be
yeah,
better than that. And because she didn't rise to the occasion as a rapper, she is mad at herself. And every time she's reminded about that shit, she's kicking herself for not doing as well as she should have done. So then she blames everybody else for it and she relives it, in this very victimized way. And I think that it was fucked up that she took that moment to try to, make it seem like, ha ha ha, I win. Like, no, bitch, you don't really win. Okay, because you still went and got surgery. You just lucky you didn't die. Like, you still went and got surgery. You still was out here pretending like you was bleaching your skin. You was still doing things that show us you're just as insecure as Jackie O might have felt about herself, bitch. You ain't really win shit. Calm down. But I still agree that these niggas are problematic about the way they talk about women and their bodies and the way they critique and make jokes about women's bodies. And that does sometimes make women feel like, let me hurry up and change myself so y'all don't talk about me like that.
For me, I just feel like Azalea Banks ultimately is full of shit. The only thing I really agreed with her on was when she said they didn't have the court. She was talking about social media addicts to justify. So basically, I agree with her on that. Like, a lot of people do a lot of antics because they got these social media addicts that like hype them up on their bullshit, kind of like Blueface and stuff. But
Yeah, I did agree with that
ultimately,
too.
my thing is this: Azalea, you was around before Wild 'N Out. Number one, you understand what the show is about. Ain't nobody have the worst Wild 'N Out show outside of Spoken Reasons. Spoken Reasons had the worst one. But in addition to that, what you're not gonna do is sit up here and try and blame DC Young Fly for saying ugly ass whatever, when that's been his thing where he spewed that on men and women. Your
yeah,
issue may be more so with the industry because you were already in this industry prior to you going on Wild 'N Out. So it seems like whatever insecurities that you may possess came way before him. But what you're doing is using this opportunity to take a jab at him because you're not over what happened at Wild 'N Out. And that's a personal issue that you need to work on. And I can never
mm-hmm.
get with a person that would like to take credit for another person's death on some voodoo spiritual whatever bullshit you got going on. And another thing, I just don't like how Azalea Banks like to say a lot of bullshit, but when people come at her, you give that chica energy. Like, woe
Yes,
is me. You can't say
yes,
anything to me. No, 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 girl, fuck you. And
Right?
your career just really just hit an all-time low. Like, I hear the point that you were trying to make. It just don't fit in this particular scenario for me because you're trying to hold DC to a standard that you need to hold the industry to because them was the motherfuckers that start hitting your security from the beginning.
And yourself.
say
Because you
that,
don't live up to that shit. You
say
another one
that.
that
Right.
talk bad about women's bodies and shit. You judge bitches too.
Exactly.
So
Did it
don't
to
do that.
Cardi, Nikki, and a lot of these
Yes.
ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever
Like,
you decide to get mad at a bitch because they made it and you didn't, you picking their ass apart. So don't even play that game. No, but I
Yeah,
definitely
it was
just
gross as
disrespectful.
fuck.
it was, but I did agree about the whole conversation of this is an environment that y'all are, social media, like,
Yes.
growing up, like this is the environment that y'all be in. These girls have these responses, and now y'all act surprised and sad. When why don't y'all
No.
feel like this beforehand,
That's all y'all promote is these IG models. Like,
bruh?
Instagram plays such a huge role in a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's all, like, I ain't even what Necey, didn't you tell us they had a whole plastic surgery page, like bra stuff?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yes.
I
didn't
didn't
I
know
even
was
they
know
had that.
shook.
that.
They reported on it first
That's
before
crazy.
Jasmine Brand Neighborhood Talk Spiritual. But first, all they post is social media plastic surgery collabs and doctors. It's
I
Yeah,
don't
I
like it,
blame y'all so
y'all.
much.
For real. I just think, we perpetrate it, but we don't create this system. We just perpetrate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, in a new way every
Yes,
time it
in a new
changes.
way. Absolutely. Because before, it used to be through advertisement, TV shows, magazines, and shit. Now it's through social media, and everybody act like it's brand new. It's not. The same shit, the pressures we used to feel by looking at women on America's Next Top Model or in magazines, the same pressure
Yes.
y'all feel from looking at girls on Instagram. It's no different. It's just
Yeah.
that now y'all have different expectations of what y'all think the women's body should look like, and things happen quicker. We had to go get magazines or wait for the TV show to come out. Y'all get to post, this shit simultaneously on Instagram as soon as we get up in the morning, and that's what we looking at every
Yes.
day.
All the
Yeah.
time, like clockwork.
Yes, people need to just delete Instagram and see how they feel for a whole day. See if you can go without it. Yes.
Listen, I'm with you on that. Girl, I be wanting to get off for longer than a day. I be like, but
We make our money this way.
Yeah, it's like
Instagram ain't where it's at. I'm like,
The first thing I do in the morning when I scroll through is so I can save stories to talk about. It's not because I really give a fuck.
yeah,
Like,
nice.
it's for
I'd
content.
rather get on
I
Twitter
don't even
for
follow them no more.
for the stories.
I get on YouTube. My real thing is to get on YouTube and just see what everybody else is talking about, or to watch shit about like my horoscope. I ain't gonna lie, like every morning when I get up, for the most part, it's either like one of my faves, one of y'all, Erica De Niro, like whatever y'all have done that day,
Yeah.
Roxanne or somebody, but mostly my horoscope shit. Anybody that does, the Gemini tarot love piece, Serenity, or I watch a whole bunch of the girls who Geminis. They do a whole bunch of Gemini readings. That's what I be on. I'm tired of all this other shit sometimes because it be too much.
Yeah, it do be too much, and low key, I'm afraid for the day when TikTok turns into Instagram. But
I might have to start doing astrology videos because essentially, like, I'm into it. And with my energy, girl, we might be able to do something because that is more relaxing. Maybe I need to create something for y'all to come to me, not just for the mess. Besides, now that we're grown,
yeah, you should start
Yeah.
looking into astrology. That'd be cool.
it would. I'm gonna think about that.
Well, y'all, that's all I have. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add for tonight?
No, I think it was a great show.
My black
good.
real nice. That's it.
Okay, you better show it.
Well, put it closer to the screen.
It's
Okay.
nice. It's nice.
It is.
Bonnie Blue is nice.
Look at that.
You
Ain't that
can see the
song?
reflection. Ooh, that's
Okay,
Yes.
look at y'all in the reflection because y'all gonna be
It's
next.
pretty.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
It's shiny. Look at that, man.
Shine bright
Our
like a
work
diamond.
definitely pays off, I swear.
Eventually.
It does.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Eventually.
you deserve that.
Thank you. I love y'all.
Love
Love
you
y'all
too.
too. Well, all right. Thank y'all for coming into another Thursday of Ooh Ladies First panel. Next week we gonna be on whose channel? Bondi channel.
Yes.
We're gonna be on Bondi channel next week, so y'all be sure to like, comment, subscribe to all of us at Bondi Blue. Jamie, that's me, and myself, Necey Dixon. And we'll see y'all in the next video. Be sure to like on the way out and share the video with a friend. Good night.
Bye.